There, the Buffaloes then on defense will be Goldberg, Obi, and Precheck along the front line. The four linebackers, Hardigan, Webb, Major, and Mankey. Henderson and Orms are the corners. And let's see, I wonder from a safety standpoint, Jim, today, if Ray Polk will have that opportunity. Kyle Washington, KT Tuamalo, Terrell Smith are a number of guys that may be back there because of some of the guys being banged up here this afternoon. But the Buffs will be on defense to start this game, and Arizona has the ball going with the wind here in quarter number one.
Well, we questioned how they would go about it, and Arizona elected to take the ball, but they also got the win because I thought maybe a team would want the wind in the first quarter. Arizona got both, the ball and the wind.
So the Wildcats will have the ball to start off with. Totogi is back to return for the Wildcats along with Carey. Approaching, swing of the right leg by Justin Castor into the wind. It's a very short kick taken by Carey at the 7-yard line, straight ahead across the 15, the 20, cuts left at the 25, runs into traffic there. He is tripped up across the 25 to the 27-yard line. Arthur Jaffe, the special teams standout, making the stop for the Buffaloes. A 20-yard return, and so these Arizona Wildcats with quarterback Nick Foles at the helm, the senior out of Austin, Texas, who has got an opportunity today to become the all-time leading passer in Arizona history. A Still to Hard Motors Silent Report. Here's Andy Lindell.
Now, guys, it's interesting. The wind is swirling. When we got here, it was blowing in from Dow Ward Center. Now it's going across the field. Just keep note of that.
It's no longer, you're right, no longer going with the field, but yeah, Andy's correct. From west to east, if you will, from behind the press box where we sit. 3 men in the backfield. Foles is out of the shotgun. Now leaving the backfield in motion to the right. Foles dumps it off, slant right side. Grab is made at the 29-yard line. A catch there. Being hauled down is David Douglas. That's a gain of 3 yards. Travis Sandersfeld is on the tackle, and so not surprisingly, Arizona comes out chucking the football. Foles is 6'5". He's 240 pounds. Senior, as we mentioned, out of Austin, Texas. Not the most elusive quarterback the Buffaloes have faced all season long, but he has got one whale of an arm. Second down, long 6, short 7 from the 31-yard line. Or ball just across the 30, quite honestly. Backs are in the offset eye right now. Foles is out of the shotgun, actually the pistol formation. Takes the snap, turns, hands off, tailback, breaks it right side, big hole, grabbed around the waist and twisted down at the 39-yard line. Terrell Smith, who did get the start of one of the safeties with Ray Polk, is there making the tackle. That's a gain of 10 yards and a first down on the carry by Daniel Jenkins for the Wildcats.
Yeah, John Embry was uncertain whether Polk would play. Said he knew he wanted to, but he didn't know whether he could. But he is in there. Orms is starting at the left corner. Henderson on the other side. Sandersfeld's playing nickel.
First down and 10 for the 40-yard line. Just about a minute gone by. There's 4 men in the backfield. Pistol formation. Fakes the handoff. Foles now being pressured by Goldberg. Swings it right side. Just whips that one out of bounds.
And that's what they've got to do. Get pressure on Foles. He's been sacked 18 times this season. The other thing about it, I mentioned in the keys to the game, he's thrown a bunch of interceptions over the last few games.
He needs 284 yards passing coming into this game to tie the career passing record set by Willie Tuatama for the Wildcats just a few years ago, in fact, down at Tucson.
That's
Second
right.
down at 10 for the 40-yard line. Pistol formation, boundary to the right. That's where we find a slot as well. Takes a snap, throws a slant to the left side, in and out of the hands. The intended receiver, Jerron Kreiner, the senior from Las Vegas. Nice coverage applied that time by Greg Henderson. That one went right through the midst, though, of the 6'4" senior from Las Vegas.
And he's just one of a bunch that they'll really spread the ball around. Kreiner's one. Dan Buckner, who played at Texas, Geno Crump, David Douglas, David Roberts, they all catch the ball. They all have over 35 receptions.
Third down and 10 now for the Wildcats. Number 50 in the country at 43% on third down attempts. 3rd and 10 from their own 40. Motion man is Douglas to the backfield. Shotgun snap taken by Foles. He is pressured. He's grabbed. He is sacked back at the 32-yard line as he dumped off the ball. Will Precheck got there along with David Goldberg for the Buffaloes as they collaborate on the quarterback sack. That'll bring up 4th down and long.
Mark, I think you also see Colorado has not been as aggressive going after the passer in recent weeks, and part of the reason is the secondary hasn't been there. They're a little healthier right now in the secondary, and I think Greg Brown thinks he can be a little more aggressive up front.
Technically, they'll call that an incomplete pass, saying he did get rid of it. Out to punt this ball away is Duganzik. He stands at the 26-yard line up to her left. And look at this. Kyle Cefalo is out there to return the punt. He has not done that much this season. With the wind, went sailing over the head of Cefalo. Bounces at the 10, nearly hit the official, and then rolls into the end zone for the touchback. That's a 60-yard punt. No return. So the Buffs allow 1 first down and then put a stop to that drive by Arizona. With 90 seconds expired here in the first quarter, we are scoreless here at Folsom Field between the Buffaloes and the Wildcats of Arizona on Senior Day, the final home game for the Buffs here in 2011. So here come the Buffaloes on offense now, and boy, you talk about those seniors. There are plenty of the good ones for the Buffs, including quarterback Tyler Hansen. Here's Andy Lindahl now with the Silter Motor sideline report.
Nice punt there, guys. We know we have multiple punts in the bag here for Colorado's punter, but we do have the Arizona punters taking those low snaps and those low punts before them, but that time he didn't need to use it, Mark.
First down and 10 for the 20-yard line. Tight end and an H-back to the right, boundary to the left. Hansen sets up under center. He's got Roddy Stewart behind him. Turns, gives on the end around. Running boundary side left. Paul Richardson running at the 25, running at the 30. Gets a block out to the 33, the 34, and then he's driven out of bounds by Shaquille Richardson. On the near side, the end around on the opening snap for the Buffaloes. A gain of 14 yards, and that's a first down. A Built Ford tough first down. Brought to you by our local Ford stores. Ford, drive one.
That's a great call on first down. Richardson came speeding around. Hansen handed him the ball, and Tony Clemens was out in front blocking, and the Buffs pick up about 15 yards on it.
Richardson out of the lineup now. First down and 10 from the 35. About a 14.5-yard gain. Ball on the left hash mark, moving right to left, tight end and an H-back to the right side. Hansen under center, takes a snap, turns, hands off, left side, off guard. Roddy Stewart works his way forward, finds Little there out to the 37, almost the 38-yard line. Robert Golden, the safety there on the tackle for the Wildcats.
Colorado basically going into the wind. If you're familiar with Folsom Field, it's really coming in from the northwest corner. It's basically a west wind, but a lot coming from the north when you look at the flags. So the question is, and I've heard a lot of quarterbacks say, I'd rather throw into the wind than with the wind. Let's see how Hansen copes.
Second down and 7 out for the 38-yard line. Tight end of the H to the right side, boundary to the left. That's where you find the slot as well. Hansen again under center. Short drop, dances in the pocket, stands tall, scans the secondary, dumps off safety valve. Grab is made at the 40, 45, 50-yard line. Running inside the 35, 30-yard line. Keenan Canty to the near sideline. Inside the 25 to the 23-yard line. Grabbed and driven out of bounds by Robert Golden. That was nothing more than a check down. Sitting down just beyond the line of scrimmage was Keenan Canty, and Hansen looked, surveyed, dumped off, and Canty turned, and there was no one behind him. A gain of 39 yards, and it's a first down for Colorado.
Couldn't have been better if they designed it that way. I'm not sure they didn't. Canty just sort of got in with the linebackers and leaned down, and he was wide open.
Inside 12 to play, opening quarter, scoreless. First down and 10 for the Buffaloes from the Cats 23. Shotgun snap, Hansen. He fakes a handoff. Here's the zone read running inside the 15. On the left side, just inside the numbers, sliding down to the 11-yard line. Taking a page out of what the Broncos have been doing with Tim Tebow. The read option, it's a gain of 12, and Dan Pettinato is there in the tackle for the Wildcats, but it's a first down for the Buffaloes.
Well, Hansen is a quarterback who can do that. I mean, we've seen him run over the years. They've really cut him back a little bit this year, but he can run the football, and they did a great job with it that time. How about this sequence of plays that Eric Bieniemy's put together here at the top of the game?
And I tell you what, now there's a time the officials called a
timeout. Colorado, timeout number 1.
Jay Strickers is the referee this afternoon, but the Buffs want to talk things over a little bit. It's been a great opening drive and a great sequence.
With Andy Lindahl.
Guys, just something to watch. It doesn't look like it's affecting the communication right now, but John Embry literally having to put the play sheet over his mic in order to be heard speaking into the microphone because of the wind there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's going to affect everything here today. Buffs have it first down and 10 just outside their own 11-yard line. Tight end and an H to the left side. Canty through the backfield in motion. Hansen under center. Takes a snap. Deep drop. Stands tall. Scans. He's got room to run. Tucks it. He stiff arms the defender at the 10-yard line, inside the 10 near sideline, and run out of bounds. He's escorted out at the 5-yard line. A nice scamper for the second time in this game by Tyler Hansen, a gain of 6 yards. Cortez Johnson was there escorting the quarterback out of bounds. Make it second down and 4 yards to go for the Buffs just inside the Wildcats 6-yard line.
That one wasn't planned, but Stewart came back and really gave him a good block out on the corner. Speedy had run a little further downfield, came back and made the block. We're talking about Arizona not being that great on defense against the rush. They're 9th in the conference. They're 12th against overall.
Second down and 4. Handoff, Speedy Stewart, right side. He's got one man to beat. Makes a whale of a move. Turns upfield. Dives to the right corner of the end zone. And he finds the goal line. Touchdown. Touchdown, Colorado. A handoff to Speedy Stewart. And outside containment on that defensive left side. He was mano a mano with Shaquille Richardson. And Speedy put a little stop and go move on him and took it right to the corner pylon in for the touchdown. And it's 6-0 Colorado. And for the second week in a row, and just the third time this season, the Buffs have found the end zone on their opening possession of a football game. Will Oliver is out for the extra point for the Buffaloes.
Speedy showed why his nickname is Speedy.
Yeah, no doubt about that. He should have. Call him juke move, Stewart, as well on that one. There's a put down, swing of the right leg, kick is up. It is on
in the first quarter.
Ball has to be held on the tee at the 30-yard line as Justin Castor will kick off once again. Carey and Totogi are back to return for the Wildcats. Swing the right leg. It is high and end of a rim, not terribly deep. However, Carey in between the near numbers and hash takes it inside the 10, across the 15, across the 20, breaking one tackle, breaking two tackles, out across the 30, up to the 33-yard line. So a nice return that time by the Wildcats return man, Kadeem Carey, of 27 yards. Greg Henderson eventually there in the tackle, but gives the Wildcats pretty good field position with 10:49 to play in this opening quarter.
In a way, it shows the power of Will Oliver's leg, because when he kicked that thing into the wind, it still went down to the 5-yard line.
First down and 10 from the 33-yard line. Crowded backfield out of the pistol formation with a fullback flanking him to the right is Nick Foles. That's Totogi, the fullback, and the tailback is Antolin. There's a handoff. Antolin, the tailback, runs directly into Travis Sanderfeld's waiting arms and runs over the top of the secondary player for the Buffaloes. Stumbles forward out to the 35-yard line. That's a gain of 2 yards on that play by Keola Antolin, a senior out of Las Vegas, 5'8", 195. He's rushed for nearly 500 yards this season. They've thrown quite a bit to the running back out of the backfield in this offense as well for Arizona.
Yeah, he's caught 16 passes for 116 yards.
Second down and 8 from the 35-yard line. Ball right hash mark. Moving from left to right. This time out of the shotgun, it's Foles. Flanked to his right by Antolin. 4 wide receivers deployed, 2 right, 2 left. Waist high snap, spins the ball in his hands, looks left, rifles it downfield, wide open, waiting for the grab at the 47-yard line on the far side, and then working his way inside the 45 down to the 42-yard line. Big wide open catch that time. Greg Henderson on the tackle. And making the reception was Austin Hill, a gain of 23 yards. And there you see that arm strength that Nick Foles has, man. That was a bullet out there in the left flat.
You bet. Austin Hill is also one of those receivers up there. 19 catches for 276.
First down and 10 for the 41-yard line. 3 men in the backfield now. Out of the shotgun, he's got a tailback behind him, flanked either side by another running back. Takes a snap, turns, hands off to Antolin, counterplay, runs into Sandersfeld, who nearly let him get away, but a second grass grabs the ankles, and Howell hauls down the running back for the Wildcats. That's a gain of only 2 yards, sure tackling that time by Travis Sandersfeld on his senior day, the senior out of Lyman, Colorado. Nice piece in the Denver Post this morning. How about Travis Sandersfeld?
Absolutely. He had 8 tackles, 7 unassisted against USC last week after returning for Arizona State. Travis Sandersfeld is a special story from Lyman, Colorado.
7-0 Colorado, 9:17 to play in this opening quarter. Second down and 8 for the Buffaloes, 39-yard line. Foles pumps. Now he's pressured, runs out to the right, which he doesn't do often. Pump fake once, twice, throws out to Totogi in the right flat. Catch at the 30-yard line, gets away from Parker Orms, stays on his feet, and then he rumbles down to the 25-yard line, eventually driven out of bounds by David Goldberg there. So Parker Orms, who is back in the field, that's a gain of 14 yards. Haven't seen Orms for a while. He was dealing with injuries, then a suspension. Came back in time for last week, but physically not ready to play. And is out there and makes a defensive play there for the Buffaloes.
Well, in just 4 games, he had 31 tackles, 18 of them solo.
First down and 10 for the 25. Hand off to Antolin out of the backfield. Hit by Ray Polk, who also missed a game last week with a concussion. Brought the running back down just shy of the 20-yard line. That's a 3-yard pickup that time with a carry by Keola Antolin. Second down and a long 6 now for the Buffaloes' 21-yard line. Much better drive offensively speaking for Arizona this possession than their first opportunity with the football. 4 wide receivers, slot right, slot left, out of the pistol formation. Boundary to the right. Second down 6 for the Buffaloes' 21-yard line. Buffs on top by a touchdown early on, almost midway through quarter number 1. Snap taken, bubble screen throw on the right-hand side. Grab is made at the 21-yard line, rumbling inside the 20. Down to the 17 is Geno Crump, a senior receiver out of Washington, D.C. That's a gain of 4 yards. Tackle The Buffaloes, Parker Orms and Terrell Smith for Colorado make a 3rd down and 2 now for the Cats. Colorado football is brought to us by Bank of the West. They take a unique approach to banking. They'd love to get to know you. Swing on by and say howdy. Won't you? Go West, Bank of the West. 3rd down and 2. U of A is 0 of 1 so far in this game. On the season, they're sitting at 43%. 3rd and 2 from the 17 power formation. Handoff Antolin. He runs into traffic. He gets by John Major, and then the second effort gets him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That's a gain of about 2.5, almost 3 yards. Derek Webb eventually made the tackle, but it's a 1st down for Arizona. Let's quickly pause 10 seconds now for station identification. This is the Colorado Football Network. So the drive remains alive for the Wildcats. 1st down and 10 now for the Buffaloes. 14-yard line. Trips to the left, boundary to the right. Falls out of the shotgun. Takes a snap. Here comes flags and a stoppage of play. Markers down all over the field. Procedure call forthcoming.
Full start. On the offense, number 73. 5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
Mark, you mentioned the 3rd down situation as far as conversions, and the biggest problem that Colorado's got is the fact that they give up almost 50% to their opponents, and that's 111th in the country.
Well, you look at those statistic categories across the country. The Buffs aren't doing real well in many of them right now.
You're right about that, both offense and defense.
Yeah, it really is amazing. 1st down and 15 following that penalty in the right tackle of Fabian Zebeli. 1st and 15 for the Buffalo 19-yard line. Inside 7 minutes to play in this opening quarter. Buffaloes lead at 7-0. Pistol formation, flank to his right by a fullback is Nick Foles. Now he turns around. He's communicating with the center. In fact, there's some problems down there, and Foles is forced to call a timeout.
Timeout. Arizona.
From the Buffaloes 19-yard line for the Wildcats. Arizona moving left to right. Ball right hash mark. Trips to the left. One receiver boundary side right. Falls out of the shotgun. Flank to his right by Antolin, the running back. Takes a snap. Big fella looks right. Delivers right. Backing up. Catches made on the sideline at the 15-yard line. Dan Buckner, the transfer from the University of Texas. He's a junior out of Allen, Texas. He makes the grab.
Marker down.
There's a marker down on the field.
It's against Zona.
It'd be 2nd down and 11 if it stands the way it is right now. Trying to sort things out. A referee.
False start against Arizona.
This would be their 2nd penalty.
Illegal formation.
Illegal formation.
In the offense. 5 players in the backfield. 5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
All right. So they move back again. Make a 1st down and 20. Now for Arizona.
Well, this gives Colorado an opportunity now to make some hay out of this with those 2 mistakes.
The thing about it is, I was going to say, well, they might be getting themselves out of field goal range, but with the wind at their back, they probably won't be. 1st down and 20 for the Buffs, 24-yard line now. Moving left to right. Out of the shotgun is Foles. He's got 4 wide receivers, 2 right, 2 left. Draw play, handoff, Antolin grabbed by Patrick Mankey inside the 20 at the 19. He gets help there. And Antolin's forward movement is stalled right at the 18-yard line. That's a gain of 5 yards. Mankey was there in the tackle. Also collaborating with John Major for the Buffaloes.
Talk about them spreading the ball around with their receivers. 6 of the Arizona receivers have had a 100-yard game in their career.
2nd down and 14 now for the Buffaloes 18-yard line. Just over 6 minutes to play. Opening frame. Colorado on top 7-0. Empty backfield now as Antolin leaves to the left in motion. Foles out of the shotgun. 6'5" quarterback takes a snap, holds it high, dumps off, slant right side. Grab is made, tumbling down at the 15-yard line. David Douglas. He got a step on the defensive back, gain of 3 yards. Jason Espinoza, but he couldn't keep his feet. He might have found the end zone if he wouldn't have tripped over that 15-yard line. They'll spot him right at the 15. 3rd down and 11 now. Yeah,
he just sort of went down, didn't he? But Colorado now with a great opportunity. 3rd down and a little more than 10 yards to go for the 1st down. And the Buffs dig in on defense.
Let's see what Greg Brown, the defensive coordinator, dials up right here. 3rd down and 11 for the 15-yard line. Arizona 1 of 2 on 3rd down attempts. 4 wide receivers, 2 right, 2 left for Foles. Ball center of the field. Foles out of the shotgun, takes a snap, short drop, stands tall, looks right, looks left, pumps. Now he's got room to run, runs inside the 10-yard line. He's hit at the 8, ball pops loose. It's dove on by the Wildcats at the 8-yard line. And I think Arizona still has it. They'll be shy of the 1st down marker. They needed the 4 for a new set of downs. Took a heck of a shot that time to Nick Foles. 7-yard scramble. And it was covered up by the center, Kyle Quinn, the junior out of Brentwood, California. Ray Polk really laid the wood to Nick Foles and knocked that ball loose, but the Cats come up with it. And here comes John Bonanno now to kick the field goal attempt for the Wildcats.
He's 5 out of 5. Early in the season, they had some problems for the first 4 games between Jaime Salazar and Alex Zendejas.
Duganzik, the punter, is the holder just inside the left hash, kicking from left to right. Again, the wind is kind of across field right now, but this will be a short kick for the 15, a 25-yard attempt, and on the snap, there's a timeout call.
Arizona, timeout number 2. 30-second timeout.
Interesting that they're calling a timeout under the circumstances.
Maybe they didn't have everything covered out there. They looked at the Colorado defense, and yeah, early in the year, Salazar missed a couple, and then they brought in Zendejas, and he missed. He had a bad day against Oregon State, so Bonanno came in, and he's been 5 of 5. I can't believe they still have a Zendejas kicking down in Arizona. I mean, they've been there ever since I was born.
I think there have been 75 Zendejas kicking, I think, for Arizona, have there not? Colorado football brought to us by Old Chicago. Make Old Chicago your football headquarters before, during, and after every game. 27 Colorado locations. Find yours at oldchicago.com. Still the Harmony Sound Report. Here's Andy Lindahl.
Well, guys, as we're ready to see our first field goal attempt of the day, again, earlier when we got here for pregame, this is the direction you wanted to be going, and we just had a big wind gust, but the wind is definitely swirling. I'm not sure it's going to affect the kick or not at this point.
Well, you look at the flags out there right now. They're hanging virtually limp on the south end of the field right now, but up above the stadium, it's very, very stiff wind. Just inside the left hash from the 15-yard line. Down to the right knee, right hand extended. Waiting on the snap. Snap put down, swing of the right leg by Bonanno. It is up, it is on its way, and it is true. And with 4:15 to play in this opening quarter on a windy day.
See, they put 554 yards on the board and 573 against UCLA, and that was Tish's first game that he coached.
Of course, Mike Stoops, I beg your pardon, was fired here 3 games ago. There's a kickoff now. Josh Ford about 4 yards deep in the end zone along the far hash. Will take the ball and put the knee down for the touchback. So the Buffaloes have it first down and 10 from the 20-yard line. Colorado football brought to us by the CU Bookstore. Your home for all the latest CU Buffs gear. Visit the CU Bookstore locations at Folsom Field and the UMC are online at cubookstore.com. Of course, with Mike Stoops getting fired, and then Kish takes over on an interim basis, and so things are very much up in the air with the coaching staff here at Arizona. There's a former Buffalo that's on that staff, of course.
Yeah, Ryan Walters.
Ryan Walters, secondary coach. Greg Brown was there last year as a co-defensive coordinator. He left after the 1 year to come back to be with the Buffaloes.
And Tui was there, too.
That's right, Mike Tuiasosopo, who joined us on the pregame show. First down and 10 for the 20-yard line. Here's a flag before the snap.
Start. On the offense, number 53. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
That's Ryan Danowitz, and he's had a bad couple of weeks. He had some of those last week.
Ryan Walters, one of my favorite Buffs, boy. He was a tough one when he was here.
So was his dad.
Yeah, Mark. Ryan wrapped up his career at the Buffaloes in the field in 2008. Got in the coaching ranks, was a grad assistant before becoming a full-time assistant with the Wildcats a year ago. First down at 15 now for the Buffaloes from the 15. Hansen sprints out left, hands off. Roddy Stewart cuts back against the grain, finds a bit of a seam out across the 20. He rumbles up to the 23-yard line, just shy of the 23. Almost an 8-yard pickup that time. Making the stop for Arizona, that linebacking core. Tremaine Bondurant is a guy that has been just electric here for this defense since the coaching change. Rarely played, in fact, under Mike Stoops, and under Coach Kish, he's found a lot of playing time.
He's had 8 tackles in each game in the last 3 games.
Second down and 8 now from the 22-yard line. Under center, Hansen, the snap. Play action, boots out to his right, looking for the tight end. Now looks to the second level. Now he pumps, decides to run, gets a bit of a block along the sidelines, runs across the 25 to the 28, and then he's knocked out of bounds on the far side. Eventually run out by Robert Golden, a strong safety. A scramble of 6 yards. That'll bring up third down and 3 now for the Buffaloes on the quick legs that time by Tyler Hansen.
That was right in front of the student section, and he did a really neat pirouette to get around the defensive player and get to the sideline, pick up about 4 more yards, and they applauded that. They like that move.
Buffaloes have not had a third down attempt so far in that opening drive in which they scored a touchdown. On the season, though, this has been a bit of a bugaboo for the Buffaloes. At only 36%, they're ranked 98th in the country. Third down and 3 here from the 27-yard line. Tight end of the H to the left. That's the open side of the formation. Hansen sprints out left, play action. Sets to throw now. Looks downfield. Pumps. He's got a big fella out there. Easily gets by him. The second wave of defenders hits him at about the 31-yard line, but that's not until he picks up a first down scamper of 4 yards. Robert Golden, the safety, was there, but as Hansen bent it around the right side, he had Karifi Ta'ula, a 300-pound defensive lineman, and Hansen easily was able to skate by him for the first down.
You know, I think that I might be wrong, but I know they really wanted to put the rope on Hansen. They didn't want him to run in the beginning of the year. I think they've turned him loose a little bit right now.
Well, I think they wanted to protect him a little bit because there was no depth at quarterback.
Right.
So
I agree with that.
First down and 10 for the 32-yard line. Tight trips to the left boundary, to the right. Hansen pitch, sweeping to the open side of the formation. Rodney Stewart bends the corner, gets the corner, grabbed up around his shoulder pads or face mask, and twisted out of bounds to the 34-yard line. Now, there's no flag here.
There is in the middle of the field.
There is one over there, you're right, but over here on the sideline there certainly was not. Penalty indications against the Buffaloes. I can't believe that there was not, if not close to a horse collar tackle, a face mask in that play. And there certainly was a horse collar tackle as we got a look.
On the offense, number 76. 10-yard penalty, spot on the foul, first down.
That was a totally blown call right there because Rodney Stewart got grabbed at the back of the shoulder pads and flung out of bounds. That should be offsetting penalties right there.
You're right. It really should be.
2:26 to play in this opening quarter. 7-0 Colorado. So a blown miscall, that I shouldn't say blown, just totally miscall that time by the Buffaloes. They get called in the hold, but they missed the horse collar tackle on the near sideline on Rodney Stewart.
You know, Colorado didn't feel sorry for anybody with a bunch of injuries, but Arizona's been hitting the defense just like Colorado has.
Derek Earls, the middle linebacker, was the guy that got up there around the shoulder pads. First down and 14 now for the 28-yard line. Hansen, short drop, looks to his left, throws to his right, in and out of the hands of Paul Richardson. Nearly picked off the carom that time by Shaquille Richardson. Out the right-hand side, it was a laser beam of a pass by Hansen. Richardson couldn't hold on and nearly taken away as it came off the hands of Paul Richardson. He's looking at his mitts as he walks back towards the huddle as well, like how in the world did that happen? Second down and 14 now for the Buffaloes. 7-3 is our score. Buffs on top. 1:59 to play in this opening quarter. Very windy day here in the Front Range. High wind warning. So far we haven't seen it really obviously affect things as the quarterbacks are throwing the ball around. Second down at 14. Hansen under center. Tight end and an H to the right side. Boundary to the left. Sprints out right. Hands off Rodney Stewart. Big hole up the middle. Jumps over a fallen defender. Breaks a tackle at the 45. There's one man to beat, and he is grabbed by Marquise Flowers and tripped up as he crosses the 50 to the Cats' 49-yard line. And if not for Marquise Flowers and a shoestring tackle there, Rodney Stewart on senior day would have gone straight to the north end zone here at Folsom Field.
Mark, that is a second time in a week that one guy has been able to trip him up on the ankle.
Wow.
And I tell you, Rodney's off to another good start today, and he is not going to overtake Eric Bieniemy, but he's going to be number 2.
23-yard pickup, first down at 10 now from the Cats' 49-yard line. Moving right to left, motion man Keenan Canty through the backfield. Tight into the H to the right side, handoff to Tony Jones. He's looking for room there. Grabbed from behind, or run down by the linebacker Derek Earls as he got back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a half yard on that play. 1:14 to play in this opening quarter. Slow to get up in the middle of that defense was Joanne Ward, the defensive tackle. He gets up and hobbled as he runs to the near sideline, replaced out there in that defensive front by Fuamano, big defensive tackle. 57 seconds and counting remaining here in quarter number 1. 7-3 Buffaloes.
Stewart comes into the game 3,305 yards, 635 behind Eric Bieniemy's all-time number.
Second down and 9 for the 48. Speedy out. Tony Jones in at tailback. Ball right hash mark. Dropping to throw is Hansen. Sets, throws the fade down the left side. Tony Clemens has to wait on this one. Goes high, comes down with the football inside the 15. He was tangled up with Cortez Johnson on the left side. Pass underthrown, got hung up with the wind, and T. Clem went up high and yanked that ball away from Johnson as he comes down with the Buffaloes first down and a gain of 35 yards. First down and 10 now for the Wildcats' 14-yard line.
Boy, has he come on recently, Tony Clemens. 31 catches for 413 yards coming into this game, and that was a big one there to end the first quarter.
Right now 156 total yards on 13 snaps. As we come to the end, they call a timeout. Are we going to come to the end of quarter number 1, it looks like. They will just let the clock wind down. They won't have to snap it again as we've got 1 quarter in the books. 15 snaps for 83 yards for the Wildcats so far. And the Buffaloes have it as we get this second quarter underway. First down at 10, now moving left to right. So, well, the wind's across the field right now. Really doesn't seem to favor anybody. Hansen drops to throw, sets, rifles at right corner. Pass intended for Devon Thornton. He got tangled up with the corner out there, resting a little bit that time with Tremaine Bondurant. He is the nickel / linebacker. They use him as kind of a hybrid position. He got tangled up that time with Thornton. Thornton couldn't release on the post corner, and it went sailing over his head, incomplete. Second down at 10. Now for the Buffaloes.
Interesting how they're using Devon now. He is basically a tight end, but they use him spread out wide. 6'4", 255 sophomore.
Second down and 10 now from the 13-yard line deep inside Wildcats territory. Tight end and 8 to the right-hand side showing blitz. Hansen runs option left side. He pitches. It goes through the hands of Tony Jones and rolls all the way back to the 27-yard line where he jumps on top of the football. Not a terrible pitch there, just not getting the hands on it for Tony Jones, a redshirt freshman out of Patterson, New Jersey. A loss of 14 yards, and that hurts the Buffaloes.
Yeah, it got up around his shoulders a little bit, but I mean, you know, you got to catch that ball and keep going. So that is costly for the Buffaloes. They have a third down and forever to go now. They got to get all the way to the 3-yard line, and they're out at the 27.
You know, that's interesting because that was an option to the left. So it's the weak hand, if you will, by the quarterback, Tyler Hansen. Buffs are 1-1 on third down attempts in the ball game. They're looking at a third down and 24 right now from the Cats' 27-yard line. Empty backfield. Shotgun snap to Hansen. Drops to throw. Throws it over the middle. Tony Clemens makes the grab inside the 10 down to the 7-yard line. And he is taken down right near the 5. A laser beam of a pass, a gain of 22. That brings up fourth down and 2, however, for the Colorado Buffaloes. But a great throw and catch that time from Hansen to Tony Clemens.
They're going to go for it.
And why not under these circumstances? You've got, if you will, theoretically anyway, the Wildcats will have to face the wind this entire second quarter. Late substitutions now defensively for the Wildcats, and the Buffs will go for it. On the season, Colorado 5 of 11 on fourth down attempts. 90 seconds gone by here in the second, leading 7-3. Fourth down and 2 for the Cats' 5-yard line. Hansen under center. Sprints out, boots now to his right, swing it off, catch at the 5, turning upfield. Tony Jones, end zone, touchdown, touchdown, Colorado. So after fumbling the pitch on the option, redemption for Tony Jones. He made the catch, bleeding out on the right side at the 5, turned it upfield, found the end zone, and the Buffs have a 13-3 lead early on, second quarter here at Folsom Field.
Well, they had red zone problems a week ago, Mark, and John Embry said we're going to try to fix it. I think they fixed it. That was a great call right there.
Well, Eric Bieniemy's been sharp calling the plays this afternoon. They've been varied and effective so far. Will Oliver out for the extra point. Down the right knee, right hand extended. Gorman to hold. Snap, put down, swing of the right leg. Oliver's kick is up. It is on the way, and it is no good. He pulled that one, and that is the first time this season Will Oliver has missed an extra point. He is now 21 of 22 on the campaign. So let's see if that comes back to bite the Buffaloes. But nonetheless, with 13-18 to play in quarter number 2, 13-3. Colorado on top of Arizona. It's the exact same thing that John Embry and his staff saw because they opted not to kick into it. Boy, it is swirling here around the stadium. It's really interesting because there are times it's north to south, then it's south to north, then it's west to east. It's all over the place here today. There's no real advantage, moment to moment. First down and 10 for the 37-yard line. Foles is out of the shotgun for Arizona. Cats moving from right to left. Takes a snap. Fakes the inside handoff, rolls to his left now, throws it downfield, diving out of bounds on the near side, making a falling grab is Deron Kreiner. They'll spot him out of bounds at the 49-yard line. Coverage right there. Sandersfeld and Henderson were both there. Gain of 13 yards and a first down for Arizona.
Buffs giving Kreiner a little room out there. Henderson playing off of him and off the line of scrimmage, and Kreiner was able to run over and make that catch on the sideline just in front of Henderson.
By the way, we're getting official word from the sidelines now that Stewart's okay. He'll be coming back in. He was just out for a few plays. First down and 10 now for the Cats from their own 49-yard line. Ball left hash mark, trips to the right boundary to the left, hand off to the tailback carry. Oh, he took a jarring shot from John Major. Major came charging in, darting on the hole, and just jarred the fillings loose in the tailback Kadeem Carey. Holy cow, that is as good a shot as you are going to see anywhere in college or pro football.
Oh my goodness, he was running up the middle and somebody didn't pick up John Major.
A loss of a yard on that play, and you can hear the groan from the fans as they saw the replay of the big screens here at Folsom Field. Holy cow. About snapped the neck of Kadeem Carey. Second down and 11 for the 48. Foles out of the shotgun, swing it right side. Grab is made out in the right slant. Sanders fell as there at the tackle. Terrence Miller made the catch. His first reception of the game. That's a short gain of 4, almost 5 yards that time. Sure tackling right now with the Buffaloes. They've been physical here in this game so far.
I'm telling you what, Travis Sanders is off to a really great start in this game. He just made sure that they weren't going to pick up that any more yardage.
Arizona 1 of 3 on third downs in this contest. They face a third down at 6 now for the Buffalo's 47-yard line. Boundary side right, slot left, slot right. Foles out of the shotgun. The quarterback stands tall, takes a snap, drops to throw. Here comes pressure off the edge. He steps up, chased from behind, hit by Mankey. Ball pops loose. It is on the carpet, and it's stolen on by the Buffaloes at the 37-yard line. That's a turnover. Nick Foles tried to step up in the pocket, and from behind, Mankey got a hand on it, knocked it loose, and it looks like Colorado's got the football. They're still peeling bodies off the pile down there. Now Mankey comes out and says, yeah, we've got it. And Will Precheck, there's no one tougher than Will Precheck. He came off the bottom of the pile with the football.
We do have a player down for the Buffs.
I think that's Chidiro Uzodiribe. I think he was the one that got there first on the ball. He went diving after it. He's still laying prone on the carpet here at Folsom Field. Now his feet are moving out there, which is always a good sign. 11:32 to play. In quarter number 2, 13-3, Buffaloes have the advantage. You know, neither of these teams have done a good job at forcing turnovers. Arizona has only forced 10 this season. The Buffaloes with 9. They're both in the bottom handful in that statistical category in the nation. Now we've got an injury time on the field. We'll take it right now as well. Buffs have forced a turnover. They've got it, leading 13-3. 11:32 to play in the second quarter. Timeout on the Colorado Football Network.
I'm going to tell you about that injury a little bit. He hurt that arm when he went down to grab the ball. You could see the arm stuck out behind him there, can't you?
Do you want to come out and take it out of the break?
I mean, they're lucky they held on to it because I think he retained that with one arm, basically. You know how those piles get.
Buff fans, it's time for Pac-12 Trivia, presented by Bank of the West, the official bank of the Pac-12 Conference.
Fans can get the inside scoop on CU Athletics each week on the Buffalo Stampede Coaches Show. Tune in on Friday, November 18th at 7 p.m. to Root Sports to see weekly game highlights.
A hand on the ball and knocked it away from quarterback Nick Foles. And then Uzodiribe was there, and out of the bottom of the pile came Will Precheck. The Buffaloes 175 yards of offense already in this game, still with 11.5 to play. Buffs have it first down and 10 now from their own 38-yard line, moving from left to right, ball center of the field, tight end and an H to the right side. One running back in the set. Hansen turns. Play action, sets to throw, stands tall in the pocket, scans. Now he spins away, throws it out on the left side. Tony Jones, a safety valve, made the catch, but a great job, open field tackle that time for the Wildcats by Tremaine Bondurant, who was out there. And boy, that was a great defensive play. Ends up being a loss of 6 yards. Hansen was just running for his life, dumping the ball off, trying to make sure he gets sacked back around the 28-yard line.
Probably would have been better if Jones had dropped the ball, but he was one-on-one with Bondurant. You're right. Tremaine just made a really great defensive play, and they say he has a nose for the ball. He's right there all the time.
Second down at 15 now from the 33-yard line. The two tight ends both shift to the right side. Boundary side left, Hansen under center, sprints out right, hands off to the tailback, and stepping over one fallen defender is Tony Jones. Second wave comes and brings him down. He got back to the line of scrimmage. All kinds of defenders there. Paul Vassallo, the senior out of Reno, Nevada, led the way for the Wildcats defensively. So the Buffs looking at a 3rd down and 15. Still the Harmoter Sound Report. Here's Andy Lindahl.
Guys, a good test for Ryan Miller today. There are a number of NFL scouts in attendance here to see Nick Foles, but Ryan Miller being looked at as well as many think he'll be drafted. There's a couple of little fire hydrants on the defensive line. 71 on a couple plays ago got right underneath Ryan. He's got to stay lower, make sure he doesn't lose leverage on these smaller tackles for Arizona.
Yeah, by the way, some of those folks from the NFL, John Elway and Brian Sanders, are supposed to be here today watching these two teams. 3rd down at 16 for the 32. The Buffs 1 of 2 on 3rd down. All kinds of time in the packet. Throws it out in the left flat. Intended, I believe, for the tight end Ryan Dehan. But it went sailing over his head, not about. Second level out there was Tony Clemens, but he was running an in pattern out there, and that one flutters incomplete. So the Buffs, for the first time in this ball game, will have to punt it away. So, Zim, where's the wind blowing right now for Dara?
I think it's back coming from the northwest. I think if Dara can get this ball up in the air, it might end up in Colorado Springs.
Keola Antolin is out there to return. He stands at the 25-yard line up to a right. Dara O'Neill, who's done a great job punting. The Buffs number 22 in the country in net punting this season. Stands at the 18 up to her left. Takes a snap, a little rugby style to the left. Kicks this one. There's where that Gaelic football comes into play. It's a decent roll inside the 40. Continues to roll to the 35. And that's where it finally rolls dead. The long snapper Ryan Iverson is there to down that football. It's only a 33-yard punt under the circumstances, but all things considered, I guess that's not bad.
But with the win.
Yard line moving right to left. Foles in a pistol formation, takes a snap, turns to his right, hands off to Kadeem Carey, tries to leap over a fallen defender. The Buffs. Parker Orms does a great job reaching up and yanking him out of the sky and taking him down at the 36-yard line. That's a gain of only a yard. Let's quickly pause 10 seconds now for station identification here on the Colorado Football Network. Second down and 9 back here at Folsom Field. Our game sponsor today is Safeway. From the 36-yard line, shotgun snap, rolling to pocket left is Foles, dumps it downfield, catch at the 50-yard line, cuts inside the numbers of the 45, stumbling forward, making the grab that time is Jerron Kreiner. Ray Polk is there in the tackle, 24-yard pickup. That was a nifty little play and pass that time by Nick Foles and the Cats offense.
Yeah, Jerron Kreiner is one of his favorite targets. He's 5th in the conference in pass receiving per game. He missed the Oklahoma State game.
You don't see them roll the pocket because the quarterback, Foles, not that nimble, but that time they did. And it worked effectively for Arizona. First down at 10 now for the Buffalo's 40-yard line. Crowded backfield, 4 men back there. Play action, setting to throw. Swing it right side. Nice grab out there in the right flat by Austin Hill. Enough for the first down at the 28-yard line, but immediately Parker Orms is there in the tackle, and Hill gets up with a bit of a limp that time. 11 yards, first down for the Cats. As Silta Harmoter Sideline Report, here's Andy Lindahl.
Guys, just to update the Rodney Stewart situation, he has now gone in the locker room to get retaped, so we'll wait and see when he returns. Hopefully it's in time for the next offensive possession.
First down at 10 now for the Buffalo's 28-yard line. He's flanked either side as Foles out of the shotgun by a fullback and a tight end, and then the tailback Kadeem Carey's behind him, and more of a pistol setting. Buff showing blitz, handoff to Carey, and he's met right in the hole by Patrick Mankey, and ends up being tackled at the 28-yard line, just shy of the initial line of scrimmage in this play. Actually got hit in the backfield, was able to push his way back.
They average 94.7 yards per game, and that's about 0.3 of a yard better than Colorado, 94.4.
We've got 8 minutes to play in quarter number 2. It's 13-3 Colorado. The Buffaloes with 174 yards of offense. Arizona now with a $144 on 23 snaps. They've got it in bus territory. Second down at 10 for the 28-yard line. Moving right to left. Ball right hash mark. That's where he's got a slot receiver as well. Handoff to the tailback, Kadeem Carey. Breaks it over the middle. Steps out of a tackle at the 15. Running at the 10. Breaks a second tackle at the 8-yard line. Inside the 5. Parker Orms grabs Kadeem Carey and twists him down at the 1-yard line. And it's first down and goal to go. A 27-yard pickup. And that there was just shoddy tackling by the Colorado Buffaloes. 27-yard pickup for Kadeem Carey, the freshman out of Tucson. And the Buffs had about 3 shots at him before they finally brought him down. They could not wrap up on number 25.
Carey has carried the ball quite a bit this year as well. Averages 4.3 yards per carry.
First down and goal to go for the 1-yard line. 2 tight end formation. One to the right, one to the left. Totogi, the fullback, lines up at the tailback position now. in a power formation. One wide receiver to the right. Foles turns, gives to Togi. He is met in the hole and held up right there by Conrad Obie at the 1 yard line. No gain on the play. Nice job by the big fella, Conrad Obie, 6'3", 290. The senior met the big fullback right there in the hole, and that was the immovable object and the irresistible force because nobody went anywhere. Second down and goal to go for the 1 yard line. The Togi stays out there. He's now at fullback. Kadeem Carey, the tailback, is out there in a conventional I now. Tight end right, tight end left, one wide receiver to the right. Foles sets up under center. Crowded offense or a defensive line for the Buffaloes. Hand off to Kadeem Carey. He cuts back against the flow, finds the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. 6:28 to play, quarter number 2. 13-9 is our score here at Folsom Field. Nice play that time as his handoff to Carey that flow to the left. He was just kind of reading, seen where he saw daylight. As soon as he did, he cut back against it and took it right in for 1 yard out.
65-yard drive on that.
John Bonanno is out for the extra point now. Kyle Dudanic is the hold of the punter. He puts it down, swings the right leg, does Bonanno, and it's up and in. And so we've got a field goals difference between these two teams now. 6:28 to play in quarter number 2. Colorado football is brought to us by High Country Wire and Telephone. One-stop shopping for all your business, telephone, and internet needs. Give our good friend Bob Whitfield a call. Won't you? 303-467-5500 or visit hcwt.com. That's High Country Wire and Telephone. Here's Andy Lindahl now with the Silver Heart Motor Sideline Report.
All right, guys. Rodney Stewart out of the dressing room, but he's walking very slowly, guys. I was trying to read his body language a little bit. He did have a smile on his face, but he definitely is walking with a bit of a limp, so let's monitor that situation.
All right.
65-yard drive in 7 plays, 3:22 off the clock. Nice drive by Arizona. A couple of good passes in there. Colorado did not get good pressure on Foles in that particular drive, so they've got to go back to that and get pressure. Utah last week got 2 sacks, 2 interceptions, and 2 blocked punts against Arizona, and it was Wildcat mistakes that really cost them the game.
I'll tell you what also would have helped him out greatly was just a little bit better tackling.
Well, that's true.
Here comes a kickoff from right to left. Bonanno boots this one into the end zone over the head of Justin Gorman and out of the back of the end zone for the touchback. Colorado football is presented by Pinnacle Assurance. Pinnacle Assurance is building a better Colorado through charity, volunteerism, and support for higher education. Pinnacle Assurance, Colorado's choice for workers' compensation, online at pinnacle.com. Nice opening night for the CU men's and women's basketball teams last night. To see the women, if I remember, won by 24, the men by 28 last night. Women beat Northern Arizona, the men over Fort Lewis College. So both off to 1-0 starts under Linda Lampy and Tad Boyle. Now the football team trying to get a win here to make it a perfect weekend and a 3-game sweep here in Boulder. First down at 10 for the Buffaloes for the 20-yard line. Tight end and the H to the right. Hanson under center. Sprints out left. Hands off to Tony Jones. Lets the defender go by. Hit from behind then. And he's ridden down out to the 22-yard line. Tackle by Chris Merrill, the junior defensive tackle out of Scottsdale. That's a gain of 2, almost 3 yards. So we haven't seen Rodney Stewart for a little while here. Andy has mentioned he went and got retaped. We were told, however, that he was okay and would return. I would have to think, as one of the seniors playing his final home game, he'd have to be bleeding out of the eyeballs to be kept out of this thing, don't you think?
Well, yeah, but he went back after they said he was okay. He went back to the locker room.
Second down at 8 now for the 22-yard line. Tight end to the right, boundary to the left. Hanson under center. Sprints out now, swinging off out of the backfield, and it's right off the hands of the Von Thornton. Oh, young man, are you kidding me? That one hit him right in the midst, wide open. Shaquille Richardson was coming up in the corner position to make a stop along with Paul Veloso.
You just can't drop those.
Wow, that was wide open. That is hit him in a bad spot, right between the 2 hands.
And I would say if they were going the other way, he was looking back into the sun, but he wasn't.
Well,
because they're going this way.
Maybe he saw himself on the big screen at the north end of the field or something. I don't know.
Maybe he saw his shadow.
Buffs are 1 of 3 on third down attempts. But the opening 2 possessions was outstanding. But Colorado was stalled in the last couple now. 5:46 to play in the first half. Buffs lead at 13-10. 3rd and 8 for the 22. Hanson scanning the secondary, throws it over the middle. Grabbers made it to the 26-yard line. Out of the backfield, Tony Jones, but not enough for the first down. He's about 3 yards shy. Paul Vassallo is there on the tackle, and the Buffaloes will be forced to punt this one away, looking at a 4th down and 4 after that 5-yard gain.
Well, they scored in their first 2 possessions, and now in the second 2, they've really not played very well in those last two possessions, and now this is their second straight punt.
Dara O'Neill, he did the rugby style to the left last time. Keola Antolin is back to return at the 30-yard line out to a right. O'Neill, this time rugby style to the right. He puts this one in the air, and it's going to bounce and roll inside the 45, inside the 40, inside the 35. Iverson, the long snapper, is there to finally down it at the 32-yard line. A little bit better effort that time by Dara O'Neill of 42 yards. And so the Wildcats will take over first down at 10 from the 31-yard line. We got 4:59 to play. In quarter number 2, the Buffaloes on top of the Arizona Wildcats here in this home finale of 2011. 13-10 our score, Buffaloes. Colorado football is brought to us by Chipotle Mexican Grill, serving foods that support family farms, sustainable agriculture, and the environment. Order online at chipotle.com. Nick Foles comes into the ball game. 6'5", 240-pound senior out of Austin, Texas. 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line. Play action, looks left, dances, looks right, throws it down the right sideline and out of bounds. Nearest receiver out there was David Douglas. Well, he's got an arm now. I mean, he doesn't move like some of the guys we've seen, but that cat has got an arm.
He likes to stay in the pocket. He operates out of the shotgun most of the time. I think he intentionally threw that one away. His receiver was double covered over there in the sideline. He's smart, too.
Yeah, he is. They say he's very good at reading defenses, very high football IQ. A little bit more of your prototypical NFL pocket passer. 4:52 to play in the second.
I'm sure Brian Sanders and John Elway are looking at him.
13-10. Buffaloes lead it. Second down and 10 from the Cats' 32-yard line for Arizona. Shotgun snap to Foles. Looks left, delivers out there. Tight end makes the grab at the 35 to the 40-yard line. Drew Robinson driven out of bounds just across the 40 up near the 41-yard line. That's a gain of 9 on that play.
They don't throw to the tight end that much, Mark. That's only Robinson's second catch.
Yeah, he and Jack Bacchus, who is really more of a blocking tight end. They've only got one catch between the two. Well, two now. Josh Hardigan made the stop for the Buffaloes. So 3rd down and 1. Arizona is 1 of 4 on 3rd down attempts in this ball game. Backs are in the eye. The tail of the tandem there is Totogi. Foles turns, hands off. Totogi runs into his own man, and then he's met defensively by the Buffaloes. Travis Sanders felt he's driven back to the 40-yard line. That's a loss of a yard. That'll bring up 4th down and 2. I think what really happened there, the defensive front, I think it was Will Precheck, just blew up the man in front of him.
That's exactly
and
right.
Dumped the offensive lineman, Trace Biskin, the right guard, right into the path of Totogi. And that blew it up. Sandersfeld cleaned it up. And on 4th down and really a long two, almost 3 yards to go, the Cats will have to punt this one away. Duganzik is out to boot the ball. He stands at the 25-yard line up to our right. Kyle Cefalo is back at the 15-yard line out to our left. Wind blowing, it appears right now from really crossfield,
almost
west to east.
Yeah.
Duganzik takes a snap low and to the left. He makes the grab and he downed himself. He downed himself right there.
Wow.
The snap was low and to the left. He went down and apparently the left knee went down and touched, and the referee said, no, you're down right there. And so that's a turnover on downs, and the Buffaloes will take over. 1st down and 10 at the Cats' 28-yard line.
Remember,
Boy, you don't see that very often.
Not very often. And I tell you what, remember I said that he had 2 punts blocked last week. So
set the game clock to 3 minutes, 30 seconds. 3-3-0, please.
It's obviously an issue for Arizona.
Wow. Yeah, you don't see that very often. The snap was just off the mark. Josh Elias is the punting long snapper, and it came out low and to the left. And so Duganzik had to go down and kind of grab it. Apparently that left knee touched down.
I guess that goes down as a rushing play, right?
It does go down as a rushing play. Shotgun snap to Hansen, fakes the inside handoff on the read option, running to his left, looking for the end, can't get it. Finally slides down at the 25-yard line. That's a scamper, though, of 3 yards. Yeah, that goes down as a rushing attempt by the punter Duganzik. And a loss of yardage on that play. Buffaloes take over. And really, that's essentially, from a coaching standpoint, that's a turnover.
That's a turnover, absolutely.
Yep. So ostensibly, you can say 2 turnovers for the Wildcats tonight. Let's see if the Buffaloes can cash in on it with 3:05 to play in the second period. Buffs on top 13-10, looking at a 2nd down and a long 7, short 8 now from the Cats' 26-yard line. Moving left to right. Ball left hash mark, slot to the right, 2 tight ends to the left. Hansen lines up under center. He's got Josh Ford as the tailback. Still haven't seen Rodney Stewart. Drops to throw, scans the secondary, looking right now, looks over the middle, throws it to the tight end, and the big fella makes the grab, stumbles forward, Does Ryan Dehan inside the 20 down to the 17-yard line. And that's a first down for Colorado. Let's check it with Andy Lindahl now to Silta Harmoner sideline report.
Well, guys, something for Colorado to recognize offensively. Arizona really dropping all their DBs back, trying to keep everything in front of them. A little surprising with the way the wind is changing, but Colorado players are going to need to break one tackle if they can. They will have a big play, Mark.
First down and 10 from the 17 now for the Buffaloes. Ball right hash mark. Two tight ends to the right. That is Matt Barr and Ryan Dehan. Motion man is Paul Richardson off the left. Under center is Tyler Hansen. Hands off Josh Ford. Breaks it across the 15. Running at the 10. He's open 5. End zone. Touchdown. Touchdown Colorado. Wide open. Big hole right side. And Josh Ford, the sophomore out of Mullen High School, scores his first collegiate touchdown here at the University of Colorado. And the Buffaloes, after that botched special teams play by the Wildcats, cash it in to make it a 19-10 game in favor of the Buffs with 2:12 to play here in the first half.
And they are going to go for the kick.
Will Oliver is out. Gorman to hold. Remember, Matt Gorman, or I beg your pardon, Will Oliver missed his last kick, but the wind was just horrendous when he kicked it. Put down, swing of the right leg. This kick is up. It is on its way, and this one bisects the uprights with 2:12 to play in the first half. So Colorado now with a 20-10 advantage over Arizona. Every touchdown scored by the Buffaloes this season, the Burke Simpson Law Firm will make a generous donation to Craig Hospital. Burke Simpson, good lawyers, changing lives. Andy Lindahl now with the Silta Motors sideline report, partner.
Guys, who says it doesn't pay to be a little bit short in football? I was watching that play from the backside, and you did not see Josh Ford until he burst through the line. If you're a linebacker, he's too quick to react that late. So I think his size actually played an advantage for him there because nobody could really find him.
He did disappear there, Andy. And boy, give credit to that offensive front because there was a big hole opened up off that right guard. And Josh Ford with his first touchdown is a Buffalo. And look at this. We have not seen a half of football like this for the Colorado Buffaloes. I think it's safe to say all season long. Not even against Colorado State. They're one win. Have we seen a play like this?
I'm going to talk about Josh Ford for a second because he had a great game in the spring game. He's had trouble breaking in. Coming into this game, he had only carried the ball 18 times. But Josh Ford is one of these guys, when he gets out there, Mark, he produces. And that was a nice run.
Yeah, Josh Ford has done a nice job this season. In fact, when he's touched the ball, his average coming into this game is 6.4 yards per carry. Justin Castor to kick off, and this one got caught up in the air. Boy, it's hanging up there. It's bobbled now at the 30-yard line, dropped it and covered up by the Wildcats. David Hill was there, a fullback. And he was like a center fielder waiting for that one to come down, but it was swirling in the wind. It hit him and fell on the ground, and that's where it's covered up by the Wildcats. Andy Lindahl back at the sidelines with the Silta Harmoner sideline report.
Guys, the band wasn't on the field that time, but their hats were, as the gusting wind knocked about 4 hats into the field of play. Luckily, that was a short kick because the hats were at the 10 and the 20-yard line, and the band members didn't want to go get them because they blew off right as the ball was kicked. Also, another note, Arizona should have the wind to their back if they need to attempt a field goal.
Hey, it's better to have the hats out there than the whole band.
I was going to say, it's only appropriate you got a band issue with John Elway in the house today, huh?
That's right.
Yeah. First down and 10 with the 30. Nick Foles swinging out right flat. Grab is made out there on the right side of the sideline. Breaking one tackle, then 2 tackles, and eventually being brought down at the 38-yard line out there on the right flat. That's a gain of 8 yards that time. Making the grab offensively for the Wildcats was Geno Crump. Terrell Smith was there to tackle. Second down and 2 now for the 38-yard line. Buffaloes on top 20-10. Foles out of the shotgun. Got one running back, dropped to throw, looks to his left, throws it down the left sideline. Leaping, twisting grab on the near side. Kreiner can't come up with it. Just outside the numbers. Ray Polk and Greg Henderson both there defensively for the Buffaloes. Colorado football is brought to us by the Omni Interlochen Resort and Spa. Denver Metro's only 4-star resort just off Highway 36 in Broomfield.
Silta Motors Pac-12 scoreboard update. Well, this is the only game going on right now in the Pac-12. Wyoming leads Air Force 12-7 at the half. And Nebraska beat Penn State 17-14. A couple others in just a minute.
Arizona 1 of 5 on third downs. Third down and 2 for the 38. Shotgun snap to Foles. Short drop, looks left, delivers out there. Wide open grab at the 40-yard line, sidestepping. Ray Polk and rumbling forward with the first down reception. David Douglas just outside the left hash mark as he works it up to the 47-yard line. It's a gain of 8 yards on that play. So a new set of downs with 1:26 to play. Hurry up offense, no huddle. Shotgun snap to Foles. Here comes pressure off the backside, and he is hammered and sacked back at the 35-yard line. Chadira Usoderibe, Travis Sandersfeld, Jason Espinoza. Every Buffalo in the herd was in the backfield for the Arizona Wildcats that time and brought down the quarterback. What a great play. Loss of 9 yards, and that top Greg Brown, he just unleashed the hounds and sent them in on that immobile quarterback. And second down to 19.
Timeout called on the field. A couple other scores. Missouri beat Texas 17-5, so the 16th ranked Longhorns go down. And tell you what, Mark, Oklahoma State, you're going to have to consider them. They're already number 2 in the BCS. And they rolled over Texas Tech and Lubbock today 66-6.
Partner, they have been considered. And I think right now they've got themselves in the middle of that national championship conversation. Hey, a Siltahar Motors Sound Report. Let's bring in Andy Lindell.
Guys, we've talked about Nick Foles and all the scouts that are here to mainly watch him. Again, Ryan Miller, some other players here are being observed as well. But something I've noticed that Foles is going to have to change. When he starts to try to scramble out of the pocket, he drops the ball low. He nearly got that ball stripped again on that last play. The Buffs are very aware of it. They're taking the Lawrence Taylor chop to him every time he drops the ball down by his hip, Mark.
Well, keep in mind, they've stripped it from him twice already today. One was recovered. The other one, the Buffaloes were able to force into a turnover. And by the way, it's good to see Chadira Usoderibe back there.
Yeah, he was really back there, too.
Yeah, he was back there in the middle of all that just a moment ago on that sack of Nick Foles. And he was the guy that recovered the fumble forced by Patrick Menke and had to be helped off the field. So he apparently is just fine. Second down and 19 now for the Wildcats. A $1:10 to play in the first half. Buffs on top 20-10. Second and 19 from their own 38-yard line. Foles out of the shotgun. Buffs are showing blitz. Now they drop into coverage. Steps up in the pocket. Swing it off as he checked down at the 45-yard line. The grab is made. Running to the near sideline is Kreiner, and he runs out of bounds at the 45. So of that 9 lost, they got about 7 of it back on that play. And Kreiner ran out of bounds, stops the clock with 64 seconds remaining in the first half.
Buffs did a good job, though, of keeping everything in front of him, and he was able to get out of bounds to stop the clock, but still they've got 10 yards to go here on third down.
Arizona 2 of 6 on third down attempts. 3rd and 11 here from the 46-yard line. But look at the wind blowing out. It's trash blowing across the field. Shotgun snap to Foles. Drops to throw. Here comes pressure. Menke grabs it, but he still is able to throw the ball downfield on the back shoulder of David Douglas, and it flutters incomplete. Man, you know what? He's a big, strong kid, though, at 6'5", 240, because Patrick Menke was all over him and couldn't bring him down. So it's an incomplete pass and a punting situation now for the Cats. Let's quickly pause 10 seconds for station identification here on the Colorado Football Network. So Kyle DeGanzik is out to punt this one away on 4th down and 11 now with 59 seconds remaining in the first half. Buffs on top 20-10. Kyle Cepalo is back to return for the Buffaloes. There's a snap to the left. DeGanzik hauls it in, gets this one away, and it's over the head of Cepalo. Bounces at the 6 and checks up nicely there inside the 5, and it is grabbed and down right around the 3-yard line by Lyle Brown. A backup defensive back. They might spot him actually at the 2, it appears.
Good news is there's only 49 seconds to go in the half, and the Buffs don't have to get cute with it. Arizona can't stop the clock. They have no timeouts remaining.
52-yard punt that time by DeGanzik. Siltahar Motors Silent Reporter. Here's Andy Lindell once again.
Now Larry brings up the timeout situation, but it's important you do something positive here, guys, because you don't want to kick or anything. The wind is really against the Buffs right now. As hard as it was blowing the other direction in the first quarter, it switched here in the second.
Yeah, Lindell, I would like one accurate wind report from you today.
Well, you're not going to get one. You are not going to get one with it swirling.
They can just run 2 plays and they're going to the locker room.
First down and 10 for the 2-yard line. Power formation. Quarterback keeper is Hansen. Dives forward. Gain of 3 out to the 5. A nice push up front there. Big fella up front on the tackle. His name is Smith, isn't it?
Which who are you talking about?
Chip is showing me it was the big defensive tackle out of Englewood.
Tui
Halamalaka. Yeah, and when he pointed out, he started chuckling, and so I said, I think a guy named Smith made the tackle.
Yeah, Tui Halamaka.
Yeah, Sione Tuahalamaka. He's a sophomore out of Englewood, California. A lot of Polynesian players on this team from Arizona. Second down, and we'll call it about 7 now for the 4-yard line. Now the quarterback keeper is Hansen. Just follows the big fellas up front. Gus Handler and company. 3-yard pickup, and that'll bring us at the end of half number 1. The crowd's not a sellout like we expected because of the weather, but it's a good crowd, and they're standing in appreciation as the Buffaloes run off the field. The Bank of the West halftime show coming your way. We'll talk with John Amber. Underway, fresh 15 minutes on the clock. Kick is up by Arizona, and this one drifts into the end zone. In fact, out of the back of the end zone for the touchback. And so the Buffaloes will have it first down and 10 for the 20-yard line. 15 minutes on that third quarter clock. Now the Buffaloes are on top 20-10.
Colorado's had a couple 80-yard drives, Mark. One right here would look pretty good to give them a 3-score lead.
That wind continues. We're under a high wind warning here in the Front Range, and right now it appears to be almost a west to east wind. By the way, Rodney Stewart's coming back in the field for the Buffaloes. He got dinged up early, got retaped. They evaluated him. We saw plenty of Josh Ford and Tony Jones, but Speedy's back out there, the second leading rusher in Colorado history behind Eric Bieniemy. First down at 10 for the 20-yard line. Tyler Hansen turns, hands off Speedy left side, tries to cut it back against the grain. He's grabbed around the ankle by Bondurant and taken down after a gain of a yard. Second down at 9 now for Colorado. Boy, Rodney, what a career he's had here for the Buffaloes when you consider him when he came in. Darryl Scott was the #1 running back in America. Rodney Stewart was an afterthought out of Westerville, Ohio. He came in with a chip on his shoulder and leaves with a part of Colorado history.
Well, he'll be the #2 all-time rusher.
Second down and 9 for the 21-yard line. Out of the shotgun this time. Ball left hash mark. Low snap. Tyler Hansen. Boots out to his right. Looks downfield. Pumps the second time. Now throws it to the sideline. Falling out of bounds. Clutching the football is Kyle Cefalo. Now there's a conversation amongst officials. Yes, it is a catch at the 23-yard line. It only gains 2 yards for the Buffaloes.
But it was a nice catch.
It was a beautiful catch.
That's a Scotty McKnight catch.
Cefalo falling out of bounds. Speaking of a senior, another senior there. He, of course, started his career at Oregon State, playing baseball, and then comes to Colorado to play football. Third down and 7 now for the Buffaloes. They're 1 of 4 on third down attempts in the game. Cefalo, who had run all the way across the field, brought the play back in for the Buffs. So his split wide to the left into slot. The wide man, the open side of the formation, is Paul Richards. In fact, there's a slot to the right. Slot man is Speedy. Third down and 7 from the 23. Empty backfield, shotgun snap. Here's a blitz off the right side. Tyler runs away from it, pumps downfield, running at the 25, trying to get to the 30 and out of bounds at the 30-yard line. He took a shot as he went out of bounds by Marquise Flowers, the free safety, but it's a scamper of 7 yards and a first down. And I'll be honest with you, where he went out, Flowers is pointing to it. The Buffaloes got a very favorable spot there, and it is the Built Ford Tough First Down, brought to you by a local Ford stores, Ford Drive One. Because I think he went out the 29 actually, and they get a whale of a spot that time.
You know what? I'll take it.
Hey, when you consider the season the Buffs have had, how that ball has bounced against them so many times, whatever, whenever, the Buffs will take it. First and 10 for the 30. 2 tight ends to the right. That's the closed side of the formation. Hansen under center, sprints out right now, boots to his left, looks downfield, rifles this one. T-Clem coming back, sliding down, hit from behind, pass incomplete.
Nice play defensively.
Yeah, it was a good play from behind. T-Clem kind of curled back and went down at about the 42. Lyle Brown was right there along with them. Might have got a hand on that football as he knocked it away. Just underway here in the second half. 13:25 to play in quarter number 3. 20-10 Buffaloes.
Lyle Brown, who you just mentioned, by the way, played at Douglas County High School in Castle Rock. 5'10", 160-pound senior.
Yeah, took the junior college route to get to Arizona.
Glendale Community College.
Second down and 10 from the 30-yard line now for the Buffaloes. Ball right hash mark, moving left to right, slot to the right, slot to the left. One running back is Speedy. Shotgun snap to Tyler. Middle screen, set up, Speedy the grab. He's got a bit of room as he runs across the 32 to the 33-yard line. And he's taken down there. Boy, there was a big collision. Derek Earls was out there. There's a Wildcat down. It was a big collision between 2 defensive players. And down and very slow to get up right now is Tremaine Bondurant. He eventually worked his way up. Looks like he might have a stinger in that right shoulder because he's shaking that arm as he runs to the near sideline. Lamar Dorrego, he replaces him on the defensive front. Bondurant comes out. They bring in another defensive lineman. So it's a third down and 7 now for the Buffaloes. Well, when that middle screen was getting set up, I thought it may gain a bit more. They only got just a couple of yards.
Yeah, they blew it up pretty well. Bondurant was the guy who did it.
Buffaloes 2 of 5 on third downs in the ball game. Buffs with 2 running backs offset in an eye to the right. Shotgun snap to Hansen, drops to throw. He's got room on the right side, pumps. Now he tucks it. He's going to pick up the first down. Running at the 40, running at the 45. Takes a glancing blow at the 47. Down across the 50 and a late flag throw. And I think it's a late hit on the quarterback. Tyler was starting to give himself up, and it might have been Shaquille Richardson who kind of gave him a shot after that 19-yard scamper, and they'll be tacking more penalty yardage on this one. 12:47 to play in the third. 20-10 Buffaloes. Here comes the call now from our referee this afternoon.
Personal foul. Number 5 on the defense. Contact with his helmet. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Yeah, Tyler was starting to give himself up, and Richard came in and kind of speared him with the helmet on his way down. Buffs will take that as well. So a 19-yard pickup on the run. Another 15. Help me with my math. So that's 34 yards, right? Yeah, 19, 15. Carry the one. Yeah, that's 34 yards. First down and 10 for the Wildcat 33.
Hansen doing a little bit to Arizona what other teams are doing to Colorado early.
First down and 10 now for the 33-yard line. Keenan Canty in a motion man. 2 tight ends to the left, boundary to the right. Hansen turns, hands off Josh Ford. He cuts it back in that counter play. He's grabbed there by Paul Vassallo, the linebacker, and picks up 1 yard of the play. Nice defensive play by the senior out of Reno, Nevada, defensively for the Wildcats. Second down and 9.
It's been a penalty, almost penalty-free ball game. Colorado only penalized twice for 15 yards. Arizona, that would be their 3rd penalty of the day.
Just about 3 minutes expired here in quarter number 3. 20-10 Colorado. Second down and 9 now from the Cats. 32-yard line. Moving left to right. Ball right hash mark. Tight end to the left along with an H to the left. Josh Ford the lone setback. T. Clem and Paul Richardson are out there as wide receivers. One either side. Hansen under center. Senior drops, throws the fade down the right side. Tony Clemens, little hand checking going on, makes a leaping grab at the 17-yard line, spins, knocked out of bounds by Shaquille Richardson. And that's a first down for the Buffaloes at the 17-yard line. A gain of 15 yards. That's just a jump ball. That's Tyler Hansen saying, my guy can go up and get the ball better than your guy. And number 7, Tony Clemens, the senior, did just that.
That's his 3rd catch of the day, and he is going to be up there again. He's knocking on the door of 100 yards. He had his first 100-yard game a week ago against the Trojans. 5 catches for 112.
First down and 10 now from the Wildcats 17-yard line. Under center, Tyler Hansen. Ryan Dehan leaves to the left in motion now. Hansen with a deep drop, sets to throw. Throws the fade left side. It's tipped in the air and incomplete. Nearly picked off by Robert Golden.
Well, he was lucky on that one. Yep. He got away with that.
Keenan Canty was the intended receiver running the post pattern. Golden at the safety position saw it. He jumped the route. Went off his hands. Might have, in fact, touched Keenan Canty's hands and flooded incomplete.
Yeah, Canty's got to fight a little bit more for that ball, Mark. It was thrown high, and I think the wind carried a little bit, and that's the only reason it wasn't intercepted. Canty really didn't try to play defense a little bit on that play.
He might not have seen that safety coming over the top. Might have, at the last second, saw him squirt in front of him. Paul Richardson goes wide left. That's the open side of the formation. Tyler McCulloch at 6'5", the freshman, wide to the right on second down and 10. A handoff. Josh Ford gets a nice lead block by the tight end Dehan, but still it closes quickly. Making a stop was Chris Merrill, the defensive tackle out of Scottsdale, Arizona. That's a gain of 2, maybe 3 yards on that play. Let's quickly pause 10 seconds now for station identification here on the Colorado Football Network. Well, let's see what the Buffaloes can do on 3rd down and 8. They are 3 of 6 on 3rd down attempts in this ball game. Looking at a 3rd down and 8 now from the Wildcats' 15-yard line. We've got 10:41 to play in quarter number 3. Colorado on top 20-10. Hansen empty backfield out of the shotgun. He's got 4 wide receivers deployed, 2 right, 2 left. Right is the boundary. Snap to Hansen, sets to throw, throws it right corner, sliding down. Tony Clemens makes the grab, end zone. Did he hold on? Yes! Touchdown! Touchdown! Colorado! The ball was thrown to the inside shoulder, and T. Clem had to go sliding down, and he scooped it just off the tops of the grass in that south end zone here at Folsom Field, and the Buffs have taken a 26-10 advantage over Arizona with 10:26 to play in quarter number 3.
Well, Tony Clemens with his
ruling on the previous play was touchdown. The play's under further review.
All right, so they're going to take a look at it.
7th touchdown catch for Tony Clemens. And I tell you what, the last 3 games, he has been something else. Last year, he had 43 catches for 482 yards and 3 touchdowns. he's already more than doubled his touchdown production.
Let's check in with Andy Lindo on the Silter Motors Sound Report. Partner?
Guys, Tyler Hansen's living right because they chose to throw that football in between wind bursts. Again, we ought to name this a Silter Motors wind report because that's what it's been about all day. We got one burst so big it blew the field goal net about 2 yards down the sideline here as Will Oliver was trying to warm up for a field goal there. So I think that was a very critical touchdown because I'm not sure you can kick a field goal with the way it's blowing right now, Mark.
Well, I'm wondering, again, here comes the call.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Play results in a touchdown.
I agree. That was a catch.
Well, it was tough to tell, and I never did get a good look at it on a replay. But he did go sliding down to Tony Clemens. Again, it was on that inside shoulder. He had Shaquille Richardson on the outside. Tyler Hansen, boy, if Andy says he's living right in between wind bursts, he's living right because that throw was on the button. There was only one spot that ball could go for the receiver to get there, and Clemens went down, sliding with the defender at his outside shoulder, and made the grab to make it 26-10. 11 plays, 80 yards, 4:34 the time of possession. Tony Clemens with a 15-yard catch. Will Oliver out for the extra point. Swings the right leg. Kick is up. It's on its way, and it is good. Now that chip shot brought to you by Colorado National Golf Club, the official golf course for the Wildcats, standing in the bright sunshine here at Folsom Field on the south end of the stadium at the 15-yard line. Justin Castor to kick off high and end of her end. Well, that wind knocked that one down. In fact, it pushes it to the far side of the 20-yard line out of bounds.
What do we have? 3 straight games where we had that early in the year.
That's right. Yeah. Justin, I think, kicked it. Well, I think he kicked it out of bounds 3 times. No, Will Oliver did 1 time as well, I believe. So the penalty flag is down. 10:26 to play in the third. 27-10. And because that one went flying out of bounds. Yep.
Out of bounds on the kicking team. Ball's placed at the 40-yard line. First down and 10.
How about the wind on a referee's mic out there? I mean, it's amazing how hard it's blowing here on the front range today. So they'll move the ball to the 40-yard line. And that's where the Wildcats will take over. First down and 10 from the 40.
Well, I said a good 80-yard drive, and Colorado got it off the top, 80-11.
Yep. 4 men in the backfield. Shotgun snap now to Foles. Fakes a handoff. Rolls a pocket to the left, dumps it off to Totogi out of the backfield, makes a grab with the 45, hit at the 47-yard line. Ray Polk is there to bring down that big fullback just shy of midfield. They'll spot him just shy of the 50-yard line.
They obviously use that quite a bit, that little pass to the fullback coming out of the backfield. Totogi, that's his 20th catch of the year.
Out of the shotgun, takes the snap, turns, hands off to Antolin, bends it to the boundary side left, and he's run out of bounds there by John Major. Patrick Menke also with good penetration, loss of 2 yards in that play. Antolin had nowhere to go. Buff did a great job stretching that one out.
I thought Menke was going to make the tackle on him when he got the handoff. Menke was right there with him.
Patrick Menke, another one of those seniors, metro area kid out of Parker. 3rd down and 3 now for the Wildcats. They are 2 of 7 on 3rd down attempts in this game. 9:38 to play in the third. Buffs on top, 27-10. 3rd and 3 from their own 47, moving right to left. Trips to the right boundary and a wide receiver to the left. The Togies out of the backfield as well. Shotgun snap to Foles. Big fella drops, looks left, delivers. It is underthrown, and Kreiner cannot hold on to it. Ran the out in front of Henderson. Had to go horizontal for it. And on the way down, it slipped out of his hands, incomplete. That brings up 4th down. Colorado football is brought to us by Safeway. Today at Safeway, you can shop smarter with thousands of club card specials down every aisle. Safeway makes savings a piece of cake. Safeway, ingredients for life.
Again, some good pressure on Foles, and that's been a key. Colorado's been fairly consistently doing that.
Kyle DeGanzik is back to punt this one away at the 33-yard line up to a right, and now off the sideline. There's a timeout call.
Timeout. Colorado. Timeout number 1.
Buffs would like to talk things over here a little bit. Kyle Cephalo is back to return.
30-second timeout.
Punting and kicking this season. And you know what they say, when you use a lot of guys, when you got a bunch of guys that get return, that means you don't have one guy who are going to get return. If you got one really good one, you don't need many other guys back there.
They've used 11 different players on kickoff returns, and on punt returns, well, at least 5.
A Silter Motors Silent Report. Here's Andy Lindell.
Well, guys, the story of this game, the side story anyway, is going to be the win, because hopefully CU gets a big win here. But the wind is now blowing brown paper bags everywhere. And Larry and Mark, I'd like to know why you're just tossing your lunch out the window. Where is a brown paper bag coming from in Folsom Field?
That's a good question. Well, I think
2 of them.
Are they really?
I can give you an answer, but
they really thin brown paper bags?
No. This is clearly a lunch bag. Someone brought a full lunch.
DeGanzik is out to punt this away. There's the fake. It's the punter, the snap to the up man, and he is brought down to Togi. He is taken down by Terrell Smith. So the fake, that's why the Buffs called a timeout. They want to make sure they were aware of it. The snap to the up man to Togi, and Terrell Smith saw it and hauled him down on a gain of only a yard, and that's a turnover on downs on Arizona.
That's exactly why they called that timeout.
We've got a timeout in the field as well. We'll take it. The Buffs have played well in every facet of the game.
And make this party hot. I'm taking it.
Stewart, the ball carrier, moves ahead to the 40-yard line.
Long three right now for Colorado.
Because remember, Speedy not only returned punts and kickoffs, but he's also a great pass catcher coming out of the backfield. So is Eric, but they just didn't throw that much back in that era. They were more of that option offense. But Speedy Stewart, very versatile and does a lot of things.
Second down and 3 now for the Cats, 40-yard line, and Tyler Hansen bobbles the snap, and there's a flag and a stoppage of play here. Got a full start, I think, of the Buffaloes down there. Roddy came into this ballgame, by the way, needing 100 yards to get to 1,000 receiving yards in his career.
False start on the offense, number 73. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
All right, that's Ryan Miller. And by the way, if he does get to 1,000 yards, you certainly suspect he would before his career, he'll become, what is it, the 27th player in football history, college football history's in to have 3,000 rushing and 1,000 receiving.
Well, he's not going to get there with what he's done today. He's only had 1 catch for 2 yards.
But he's got a golden opportunity there.
He's got 2 more games.
When you think of all the players in college football, that's some rarefied air there. Second down and 8. There's a drop play handoff to Speedy. Tries to make a move, breaks 1 tackle, but there was a second wave that came in. Marquise Flowers was there to clean up the mess at the 45-yard line. It's a gain of a yard on that play. Third down, and let's call it 8 right now for the Buffaloes.
2 good safeties for Arizona, Marquise Flowers and Robert Golden. However, they're missing Adam Hill.
That cat is nasty, by the way.
Oh, absolutely.
Is that a football player?
He was injured before the season.
That guy is a big time. Talking to Greg Brown, who coached him last year, said that guy is going to play in the NFL for a long time. Buffaloes are 4 of 7 on third downs. Looking at third down and 8 for the 45 right now. Shotgun snap to Hansen. Drops to throw. Here comes a bit of pressure. Swinging off. A little drag pattern. And Paul Richardson makes the catch at the 42, but he can't work any forward momentum then as he's hauled down from behind by Robert Golden. Gain of only 2 yards. So that brings up a 4th down. So after that turnover on downs on the fake punt that did not convert, the Buffs couldn't do much with it. In fact, really, it's kind of been a stalemate there about midfield. Colorado has it 4th down at 5 now from the Wildcats' 42-yard line. Colorado football brought to us by All Copy Products. For all your business imaging needs, contact All Copy Products at 303-295-0741 or on the web at allcopyproducts.com. Back to return is Keola Antolin. Dara O'Neill to punt it away. Antolin at the 10-yard line off to our right. There's his snap. Drags out to the right, rugby style punt. He kicks it off the back of somebody, and it is taken by one of the men rushing upfield and rumbling across the 40 to the 39-yard line was Lamar Dorrego. And there's a bad turn of events for the Colorado Buffaloes as O'Neill tried that rugby style kick, and it went off the bottom. If it hit a defensive player or one of the Buffaloes moving, shooting off the backside of somebody and ricocheted back upfield for Arizona. And so now the Wildcats have it 1st down and 10 for the Buffaloes 38-yard line.
Mark, if it would have hit a Buffalo, it would be dead right there, right?
No, that's not true, because that's what he tried to do at Arizona at Ohio State. So it did hit one of the Buffaloes. Here's on 1st down. They throw in a slant, and it is knocked away. Beautiful defensive play by the Buffaloes. Greg Henderson, a post pattern off the left side by Jerron Kreiner. And Henderson got a fingertip in there at the last second and poked that ball away. Incomplete. Wow. Because that's what Darrell O'Neill tried to do at Ohio State, was stick it off the back of a player. And then
Ohio State player. Remember, and then the Buffs just didn't recover the ball.
You know what? I'm wondering, right at the line of scrimmage, though, that's something we would have to look into. Carey on the draw play, and he goes nowhere. In fact, loses back to the 40-yard line.
That was just a bad kick. I mean, he kicked it too low. I don't think he meant to do that. I guess it would go as a block kick. 3rd down and 12. Yeah, statistically speaking, how they would score that is kind of interesting. Arizona 2 of 8 on 3rd down attempts, looking at a 3rd down and 12 from
the Buffalo's 40-yard line. Buffs defense needs to stand tall. Here comes the blitz, bringing 5. Foles throws the slant to the right side. It's incomplete. Intended downfield for David Douglas. He was running the post down the right hash mark, and that one was overthrown. Buffs really brought the pressure, and Foles had to get rid of that one quickly. That brings up 4th down at 12.
Yeah, Josh Hartigan was a guy that was right in his face. A good defensive sequence for Colorado after that turnover on the punt.
You know, Jim, thinking back to that punt, if he gets outside the tackle box, he becomes a runner then, I think. That might be considered a fumble under those circumstances.
Yeah, I'm not
if he rolls
sure.
out far enough.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm just trying to, you see that so infrequently. They're going to try a field goal here, and the put down, it was snapped very high. It's a terrible, terrible kick by Bonanno.
Terrible decision.
That would have been a 57-yard field goal from that spot. That had no chance. It didn't even make the goal line under those circumstances. I don't know if they figured with the wind swirling, maybe they had an opportunity there. Buffs 1st and 10 for the 40. Moving left to right. Ball right hash mark. Slot to the left. Hanson under center. Drops to throw. Looks over the center. Now looks right. Now throws the fade down the right side. Tony Clements open. Makes the catch at the 35. Inside the 33 to the 32. And he is run out of bounds. And he bobbled the football apparently as he went out. Robert Golden came up over the top. Marquise Flowers, the safety, was there as well. And initially the call was catch, but then the official further downfield came running up and said no, he bobbled. Now the crowd's getting a look at the replay. They'll get a second look at it here.
Sure they will review this.
Clements appears to have it. Boy, I don't know.
On the previous play is an incomplete pass. The play is under further review.
Remember that old abstract term they used to make? They used to use a football move. He caught the ball and then made a football move. He took a step and then took the shot from Marquise Flowers over the top. That's going to be a catch once they take a look at that.
And he didn't fumble it or drop it until he got over the sideline.
No, it was firmly between his two hands.
I agree.
Then he took the shot from Flowers. As it stands, well, no, I was going to say as it stands right now, a 28-yard gain. It would be a 28-yard gain because they ruled it incomplete on the field.
If it is a 28-yard gain, Tony Clements has his second straight 100-yard gain.
I cannot imagine they will not overturn the incomplete call on the field. The way that we just got a look at about 2 different angles of it. A Silt to Harmotter sideline report here with Andy Lindell. Andy, how'd you see that one?
Well, the way I saw Marcus, kind of you've already described, he reached his hands out and then let go of the football to brace for the fall because he was already out of bounds. He had already stepped down with 2 feet, had the ball between his 2 hands, and I'll tell you this, if they overturned it and we were on the playground, I think we'd be having a scuffle. I'll just put it to you that way. You're to try to tell me that wasn't a complete pass on the playground. Mark Johnson, I would put you in your place.
Okay, make it known Andy Lindell's ready to fight. Of course, he's old and out of shape and couldn't beat anybody, but he's ready to fight somebody down there.
Here's what Clemens has done the last 3 weeks, Mark. 8 for 97 against Arizona State and 1 touchdown. Last week against Southern Cal, 5 catches for 112
Here we go,
yards
Jim. Here we
and
go.
2 touchdowns.
After further review, the receiver controlled the ball inbounds, took 2 steps before it went out of bounds. First down and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Now the question becomes, did Dan Hill, the replay official, make that call because he was right or because he was terrified Lindahl was going to hurt somebody on the sidelines? That's what I'm wondering about. 6:04 to play here in the third.
Well, the way I'm looking at it now, Tony Clemens has 5 catches for 114 yards.
Tony's got a chance at the next level. I know he hasn't put up huge numbers, but just the physical stats, size, moves relatively well. He's got good hands. What does Andy want on the sidelines now? What do you want?
Well, you know, just to let you know, not even my 2-year-old son is afraid of me, so it wasn't because of me, Mark.
First down and 10 for the 31 after that 28-yard pickup. Here's a handoff to Roddy Stewart, finds a seam off the right side, runs up the back of a offensive lineman, but pushes the pile forward down to the 24-yard line. That's a 7-yard pickup. 27-10 Buffaloes. 5:43 to play in quarter number 3. Our broadcast this afternoon brought to you by Pepsi Max. Take you to the max with Pepsi Max. New look, same great taste. Pepsi Max, 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste.
Speedy came back last week against the Trojans, had 21 carries for 88 yards. He's had only 1 100-yard game, and that was against Washington State, 132 yards.
Buffaloes with 318 yards. There's a handoff now to Rodney Stewart. Boy, good patience that time. He kind of put the brakes on, let a wave of defenders go by. Then he darts forward down to the 20-yard line. That's a gain of 4, the first down for Colorado. That right there is good, patient running that time by Rodney Stewart. Initially, when he took the handoff, the hole off right guard was not there. He waited just a split second. He's got 10 carries now for 60 yards for Speedy. We've got 5 minutes to play here in the third. The Buffs on the move, 1st and 10 now from the Cats' 20-yard line, and a 27-10 advantage. Tight end to the right for the Buffaloes. That's Alex Lewis. One wide receiver and a boundary to the right as well. Hanson under center, takes a snap. Play action, sets to throw. Here comes a bit of pressure from the safety Flowers, and Hanson just chucks this one away downfield, out of bounds on the right side.
Look how wide open.
Outside the pocket. Pass across the line of scrimmage.
Look at Stewart. Stewart came out of the backfield late. There was nobody out there with him at the 15-yard line.
But Tyler Hanson didn't have enough time to see him there as Marquise Flowers came untouched.
He did what he had to do.
4:43, clock is stopped. Colorado football brought to you by Frontier Airlines. Classic Plus, get stretch seating, 2 check bags, express security check-in, direct TV, and Airbus aircraft, and a whole lot more. Only at FrontierAirlines.com. So a 2nd down and 10 now for the Buffaloes. Wind seems to be west to east right now, so kind of across the field. 2nd and 10 for the 20. Tight end of the H to the right along with the boundary. Handoff to Speedy Stewart. Cuts back, he grins the grain. Runs into one of his offensive linemen, but stumbles forward inside the 15, down to the 14. That's a gain of 6 yards. That is good, hard running from the 5'6" Rodney Stewart.
Rodney Stewart has been an excellent running back since he's been here, as we've attested to several times in his career. But I tell you what, I think he has benefited from working with Eric Bieniemy this year.
I think so.
I see some of the bad habits that he had that have really been corrected, particularly on that cutback, which he just did right there.
He didn't always stay play disciplined many times, and I think maybe he's doing that a little bit better this season. Sometimes when you got
over.
Yeah, 3rd down and 4 from the 14. The Buffaloes are 4 of 8 on 3rd downs. Pitch to Speedy, throwback. Tyler Hanson wide open at the 6, end zone, touchdown, touchdown Colorado. The Buffs with some trickeration. The pitch to Speedy, the throwback, senior to senior on the final home game of their careers, and the Buffaloes with 3:50 to play in quarter number 3 have taken a 33-10 advantage on a 14-yard scoring strike from Stewart to Hanson over the Arizona Wildcats. Love it. There's a little pitch over to Speedy. And Ronnie reared back and rifled it to number 9, Tyler Hanson, who made the grab with a 6 and was wide open coasting into the end zone. Will Oliver out for the extra point. Gorman a hold put down, swings the right leg, kick is up, and it is good. How do you like that? Oh, wait a second, we got a flag here. Flag of the PAT. 3:50 to play in the third. 33-10 right now, pending this PAT.
Offside on the defense. Penalties decline.
All right.
Extra points good.
Tack it on. 34-10 Buffaloes. Is still the Armada Silent Report. Here's Andy Lindahl once again. Partner.
Well, guys, there's a lot of pressure coming up the middle from Arizona. That's how CU took advantage of it. A lot of over pursuit from the outside, and they started blitzing. That's how Tyler got so wide open. That's also why they were also able to force Tyler over to the one side of the field when he couldn't see Rodney on that open play Zim talked about earlier. So let's see if Arizona continues to gamble. They're going to get burned if they do. This is the best I've seen Tyler run this offense all year, guys.
Yeah, well, that 60-yard drive in 7 plays. Remember, that started with the fake punt. Arizona's fake punt.
That's right.
It didn't work.
It did not work. Yeah, the Buffaloes made them pay. They remember they had that special teams gaffe earlier in the game on a bad snap, and the Ganzik went down to the one knee, and the Buffaloes turned that into a touchdown. Justin Castor is out to kick this one away. In that wind, such a factor here, but boy, this one he gets a hold of. Holy cow! I think Mother Nature gave him a boost on that one, because Totogi and Carey were up around the 20-yard line, and that ball, like it was shot out of a cannon, went sailing into the Colorado on the south end of Folsom Field. Holy cow, that thing took off. Yeah, Mother Nature, she's been a factor here today. Not quite what I thought she would be, but boy, there have been some moments today where you've seen the ball either hang up, or that time it really took off with a burst of wind behind it. 3:50 to play here in the third.
Let me update you from Greeley. Portland State's kicked the field goal. They now lead 16-14 over the Bears. 9:24 to go in the game.
Oh, I'd like to see UNC get that thing turned around here at some point. That's a tough deal.
Kansas has beaten Baylor 24-17, 4 minutes to go in the fourth.
How about that? 34-10 here, Buffaloes. First down and 10 for the 20. Foles out of the shotgun, takes a snap on the left hash, throws it on the back shoulder of the wide receiver, and diving down on the left flat, making the grab is Deron Kreiner, a gain of 4 yards. Greg Henderson was there on the tackle for the Buffaloes. Colorado football brought to us by the Folsom Field Stadium Club. The room with a view, perfect place for your next company meeting. We've got holidays coming up, so parties, weddings, whatever it might be. Give center play a call, 303-492-3663. Foles dumps it off of the right flat. Grab is made out there at the 29-yard line. Now shy of the first down marker. Parker Orms is there for the Buffaloes, and so it's not a first down conversion on that catch by Geno Crump. Gain of 5 yards. That should be third down and a long one, probably about 1.5 yards or so.
Buffs are playing off those receivers, but that worked for Orms because he made sure he went no further.
Arizona 2 of 9 on third downs in this game. Out of the shotgun, Foles catch third down at 2, throws it left side, backing catch at the 35-yard line. It's made by Kreiner, breaks a tackle there of Greg Henderson, who didn't wrap him up. He just kind of reached out with his hands, and Kreiner matriculates his way forward out to the 47-yard line out of bounds on the near sideline. That's a gain of 16 on that play.
You can't do that with this guy. This guy's 6'4", 215 pounds. He's a big, strong receiver.
Yeah, you better wrap him up. Greg Henderson did not. He kind of reached out, just grabbed him. First and 10 now for the 45. Still on the catch side of the 50. Foles dumps it off. Check down at the 50-yard line. That's a gain of about 3 yards on that play. Making the catch was Kreiner. There defensively for the Buffaloes was Travis Sandersfeld and Patrick Mankey collaborating in the stop. Second down and 5. I beg your pardon. Second down, let's call it actually about 7. Foles to throw, looks right, pumps out there, throws it off. Kreiner on a comeback, makes the catch at the 42. He weaves his way inside the 40, along the hash mark on the left side, down to the 35-yard line. That's a first down and a gain of 15 yards. We still have 2:24 to play here in the third, Jim.
Buffaloes have a 24-point lead, but they got to keep the intensity on defense that they've had.
No huddle offense. First down and 10 with the 35. Foles drops, going to throw the fade up the right-hand side, and it's incomplete. The receiver out there, Crump, didn't even see it coming. I think he looked back into that sun. He and Parker Orms got tangled up. There is a marker down to the play, but Crump never even saw that ball coming.
Chop block on the offense, number 25. 15-yard penalty, still first down.
That's Kadeem Carey, the running back. Let's quickly pause 10 seconds now. Station identification time here on the Colorado Football Network. Boy, gang, we haven't had this much fun on a broadcast in quite some time. Buffaloes are on top 34-10. The last time we were this late in the ball game and the Buffs had a lead, you had to go back to September 17th at Sports Authority Field. Or was it Invesco Field back then? No,
it was Sports Authority.
It was Sports Authority by then, huh? First down at 25. Foles to throw. Throws it down the right seam. Catch is made at the 40 down to the 35-yard line. With that reception goes Terrence Miller, a gain of 15 yards. John Major is there on the tackle for the Buffaloes. So they get back to the initial line of scrimmage there, picking up the penalty yardage. So second down and 10. A Silt Harmonic Sound Report. Here's Andy Lindell.
Guys, something to know. Very strong west to east wind, and that's that sideline that Foles keeps throwing to. Let's see if it affects the ball, Mark.
All right, second down and 10 now for the Buffaloes. 35-yard line, moving right to left. Shotgun snap. The Foles, he drops, he pumps, he throws a fade down the left side, and it is picked off at the goal line. Backpedaling, Greg Henderson, the freshman out of Corona, California, with his first career pick. And the Buffaloes have the football touchback. They'll have it first down and 10 for the 20-yard line.
Well, Henderson had the advantage, Mark, of being able to go back and play center field because Sandersfeld was step to step with the receiver.
Austin Hill down the left side. The ball was thrown on the inside shoulder, and maybe that's what Andy Lindell was just talking about. I'm not sure it was on the money. I think it got kind of swayed in the wind, and Henderson, he was just dropping straight backpedaling, and had it drop right into his breadbasket, falling into the end zone. And the Buffaloes have the football, forcing their second turnover of the game. They've also forced 2 turnover on downs. We've got 98 seconds remaining here in quarter number 3. The Buffs are on top 34-10. First and 10 now for Colorado. And now let's see what we got going on here.
Rolling on the field was an interception and a touchback. Plays under further review.
Well, I suppose the only thing they could be reviewing is if he went down in the end zone or maybe at the 1-yard line.
1-yard line, yeah.
Yeah, depending upon how he fell backwards. He appeared to maybe have the ball hit his hands right around the 2 and then went stumbling backwards. Now, did the backside Or as they like to say, the part that goes over the fence last. Did that hit down before the goal line or after the goal line would be the question. 1:38 to play in quarter number 3. 34-10 Buffaloes.
I thought when he came down he was on the goal line.
Well, I thought so, but again, we'll have to maybe take a look at it. They're showing us some replays now here in the stadium. And Henderson, without question, made the interception. There's no question about that. The question is, where did he actually come down? What part of the body touched first? Certainly going that direction, his rump was going to go down before anything else. But where did it come down would be the debate right now. 1:38 to play here in the third. Buffs on top 34-10. Colorado football brought to us by Coors. Designated driver, taxi cab, even staying at a friend's house. All better options than driving drunk. The choice is easy. You hold the key, gang. Never drive drunk. That's a reminder from our friends at Coors Light.
I didn't see anything on that replay that's going to overturn it.
Here we go, Zim. He's coming.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. Colorado ball, first down and 10.
Well, that's what we thought it was, but again, sometimes you think you see something in real time that doesn't quite turn out when they slow down the video. Greg Henderson with his first career interception for the Buffaloes. Yeah, he's going to be a good one for the next 3 years for the Buffs.
Well, you betcha.
I like him a lot.
He's one of those guys that you might only have for a couple more years.
Buffaloes at 343 yards of offense on 49 snaps so far. By the way, in case you're wondering, Arizona's got 250. First and 10 for the 20-yard line. Tight end of the H to the right-hand side. Ball center of the field. Hanson under center. Sprints out right. Hands off to Speedy. Big hole in the cutback across the 25. The backside of that play, the wash kind of came rolling down on the backside of Rodney. He was hauled down by Dan Pettinato. A 7, almost 8-yard gain that time. Buffaloes will look at a second down. Let's call it a short 3.
You gave that number of 252 for Arizona, and if Buffs can hold on to that, that'll break that streak of 500 games, which is reached 6 that they've given up 500 yards.
1 minute 8 seconds remaining here at quarter number 3. Keenan Canty goes wide to the left along with 2 tight ends. That's the open side of the formation on second down and 3 for the 27. Hanson under center. Turns, hands off. Rodney Stewart kind of puts the jump cut on the linebacker Derek Earls, but Earls with a nice job with lateral movement holds him down at the 27-yard line. There's no gain on that play. Earls, a senior out of Waconia, Minnesota.
You know, you talk about those big guys up front. We were talking earlier about Ethan Atkins, Ryan Miller, and that group. Ryan Miller has taken all 653 offensive snaps this year, 100%.
He's been a horse, hasn't he?
Atkins at 607. Yeah, he has been.
Those 2 guards will end up in the NFL. Third down and 3. The Buffaloes are 5 of 9 on third downs in this game. Hanson drops to throw. Nice cut block off the left side. Picked off at the 25-yard line, and running it in for the touchdown for Arizona was Tremaine Bondurant. Boy, they tried just a quick dump off on the left side, and Bondurant read that beautifully. He picked it off at the 27-yard line, took it in. 11 seconds remaining in the third.
There is a marker down.
Wow. How about that? That was a quick play.
It was intended for Dehan, and I'm not sure how Hanson didn't see Bondurant.
I don't know, but he certainly didn't see number 27 out there.
He hit it. He hit him right between the 2 and the 7.
Let's see what the marker is all about.
I'm not sure it's a marker or
After the play, personal foul on the scoring team, number 75. That 15-yard penalty will be added on to the kickoff. Play results in a touchdown.
Karifi Ta'ala, redshirt freshman defensive tackle, with the penalty there. Well, Tyler Hanson has not thrown many picks this season. That's just his 7th of the campaign. And somewhere in and around the 340 pass mark so far this season. 34-16 is their score. That kind of took the steam out of the stadium a little bit, didn't it?
a little bit.
Yeah. 34-16 is their score.
11 seconds to go in the quarter.
For Bondurant, that's his first interception this season.
He's had a heck of a 4-game streak.
Yes, he has. That whole coaching change worked out pretty well for him. He's got a lot of playing time under Tim Kish. So the extra point attempt now for Bonanno. He is out this season, 12 of 12 on PATs, making a baker's dozen in a row as he puts that one through. Colorado football brought to you by Bank of the West. Take a unique approach to banking. They'd love to get to know you. Swing on by and say howdy. Won't you go west? Bank of the West. So as things were just rocking and rolling for the Buffaloes there, that kind of puts a damper on the party. We've got 11 seconds remaining in the third. I don't think they're going to call that officially. I thought it was about a 27-yard interception return by Bondurant. Extra point makes it 34-17.
Personal foul penalty is now being enforced, 15 yards.
Now, Zim, here's the deal. Officially going to call it a 29-yarder, I guess, is what we're getting now from the stats people. 29-yard interception then for Bondurant. Zim, you don't want to start messing around here now. Now you got a 17-point advantage, but you still got 15 minutes left in this ball game.
Absolutely.
Don't go messing around on this. Keep that intensity up on senior day.
No, I totally agree. And I said before, when they had a 24-point lead, I thought the defense was sitting back a little bit, playing loose. And they got to get it back now. Offensively, the Buffs have done a great job, and they need to get another drive going.
Clemens and Cant here back to return. They'll stand up at around the 10-yard line. They're going to kick off from the 15 because of that penalty. Good kick. Boy, the wind got behind that one. Clemens from the 4, just inside the right numbers. In between the numbers and the hash across the 20-25. Cuts to the near sideline. Outside the 30. Gets hit right at the 30-yard line. And here comes a flag on the play now, as he is run out of bounds. Clemens is really in there battling right now. There was a Bondurant, I think, had a late hit. Now coming into that pile as well for the Buffaloes. And making a lot of noise down there as well as Paul Vigo for Colorado. Marquise Flowers made the initial contact on special teams right at the 30-yard line. Again, let's see what the flag is all about here. We've got 4 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. 34-17 Buffaloes. It was 34-10 before that 29-yard interception returned by Bondurant.
During the return, holding on the receiving team, number 88. Penalties enforced, 10 yards, first down.
That's the 5th penalty on the Colorado Buffaloes. Kyle Slavin, the backup tight end, the guilty party there. So they'll mark off the yardage here with 4 seconds remaining in the third. Buffaloes could a 17-point advantage right now. So it still is a 3-possession lead for Colorado. You know what? Like I said, you don't want to start playing around with this thing. You've got a team with a relatively explosive offense in Arizona and a Buffaloes team that has had its issues. You know, nothing is for granted until there's all zeros on that scoreboard. Hansen out of the shotgun, first down at 10. Inside handoff, Rodney Stewart. He bends it to the left side, cuts inside one defender up to the 23-yard line, and that's where he's gathered in and tackled there. 3-yard pickup. Marquise Flowers, the safety, is on the stop. That brings us to the end of quarter.
Also known as Tui Halamaka.
Earlier, Chip Marks, our spotter, pointed at him, and I looked at that name and said, yeah, I think his name is Smith. Sione Tuahalamaka. 3rd down and 7 now for the Buffaloes. Buffs are 5 of 9 on 3rd down attempts in this ball game. See what they got in their sleeve right here. 3rd and 7 for the 23. 2 tight ends to the right. That's the open side of the formation. Shotgun snap, Hansen. Swing it off left side. Rodney Stewart catches the 25. Big hole, 35, 40, 45. Hit and run out of bounds by Mark Watley. That was a good call, huh? At the 44, they spot him out. Boy, was that impressive. A 21-yard gain and a conversion on 3rd down. All that was just a simple little leak play as Rodney kind of bled out to the left-hand side. If somebody forgot to cover the second leading rusher in Colorado history because there was nobody there.
Well, and Arizona's really been bringing the pressure, so it was a great call. A really quick pass by Hansen. And, you know, we were talking about Rodney in his receiving. He wasn't too good at that point, but he's had a couple of big catches now.
1st down and 10 for the 44-yard line. Hansen turns, hands off Josh Ford, who relieves the heavy-breathing Rodney Stewart. Tries to bring it off right guard out to the 49-yard line. That's a gain of 5 yards in that play. 2nd down and 5 now forthcoming for the Buffaloes.
By the way, we were talking about the scoring on that play, whether it was a block punt. That's what they have scored it.
They have scored as a block punt.
As a block punt, yeah.
All right. Wondering about that. It's something you don't see all that often. I think that you might be able to differentiate. Did he get out of the tackle box? Did he not? So that's the way it is. Tyler McCullough goes wide to the right. Ball center of the field. 2 tight ends to the left along with the wide receiver. 2nd down and 5 from their own 49-yard line. Buffaloes moving right to left under a cloudy sky right now. 4-man front for the Wildcats. Handoff Josh Ford. Great penetration off the edge there. Crossing to 50. Penetrating inside Wildcat territory to the 49. That's a gain of 2 yards. That'll bring up 3rd down and 3. Marquise Flowers came off the edge for the tackle that time for Arizona.
Mark, talking about names, we were just talking about Tui Halamaka. I peeked ahead at UCLA a little bit. Wait till you see their defensive end.
They got one of those fellas.
Oh, it's got.
He needs to buy a continent.
You talk about a tongue twister. I couldn't even begin to pronounce it.
See, I don't peek ahead. I get too nervous about it, Tim. It starts to worry me. 3rd down and 3. Buffaloes are 6 of 11 on 3rd down from midfield. Handoff. Josh Ford, right side, stiff arm. 1 defender, 2nd defender, and the 3rd wave was Flowers. He came in and hauled him down. Yeah, that's how Josh Ford just trying to stretch that one out too far. Couldn't find a seam to dart towards. That brings up 3rd down. Loss of a couple of yards in that play. Make it 4th down and 4 now. And back to return is Antolin, Keola Antolin for the Wildcats.
Well, that wasn't a particularly great offensive possession, and like we were saying before, Buffs can't fool around. They got to get time off that clock.
From a wind standpoint, it looks relatively calm down inside the stadium right now. 4th and 4 from the 50. From the 35, low snap taken off a bounce by Darnell O'Neill. Got that one away. Bounces at the 15-yard line and takes a bit of a Buff roll down to the 12. And that's where Arthur Jaffe spots the ball down right there. Not a great snap, but Darnell O'Neill able to haul it in. Got that one away. Punt of 38 yards. We got a timeout. Wildcats take over. 1st down and 10 for the 12-yard line. Moving left to right. Great majority of the field in the shadows right now. Rolling the pocket to the right side. Folds the pressure from behind. Throws it downfield out in the right flat. Grab is made. Leaping out of bounds at the 28-yard line. Nice throw and catch that time by Terrence Miller. And that's a 1st down. Gain of 16 yards by Arizona.
Sure, one of the things Greg Brown told his defense is you gotta stop them, but keep it in front of you. Don't give them the big play.
1st and 10 for the 28. Folds again with a throw. The receiver gets behind Parker Orms out the right flat at the 45-yard line. Grabbed by Geno Crump, and another 1st down.
Yeah, that's.
Boy, I don't like the way this thing's starting.
2 quick plays and a lot of yards.
18 yards in that pickup. That's 34 yards and 2 snaps now. Inside 12 minutes to play. Buffs on top 34-17. Here comes the crowd a little bit now. 1st and 10 for the 46. Ball right hash mark moving left to right out of the pistol formation. Foles turns, hands off. Big hole for Antolin running up inside at the 40. Breaks 1 tackle of Parker Orms. Runs into Ray Polk at the 34-yard line is eventually where he is stopped. Andy Lindahl with the Silverhar Motor Sound Report. That's another double-digit gain of 20 yards that time, Porter.
Hey, guys, bad news. Paul Richardson's out of this game. I'm not being told what the injury is, but he's out and he'll be reevaluated at the end. You don't need that.
All right, the Buffaloes want to talk things over here a little bit. That's a gain of 16, a gain of 18, and a gain of 20.
34-yard line.
Wow. And we've got a time on the field. Buffs will talk it over. At the 30-yard line, making the tackle there was Patrick Mankey. Boy, the Buffs were close at the quarterback. The Foles couldn't quite get there. That's again a 4 yards. 2nd down and 6 now for the 30. Foles is out of the shotgun. Flight to his right by Antolin. Slot to the right, boundary to the left. Moving up front, no whistle. Dump it out in the left flat. That's a 1st down grab of the far side by Douglas. He is hit at the 21-yard line and stopped right there. Jason Espinoza making the stop for the Buffaloes along Greg Henderson. It's a gain of 9. 1st down and 10 now for the Buffaloes 21-yard line. I don't like the way this is going here at all.
No, they're not using time.
11-10 to play in the ballgame. 34-17. Shotgun snap to Foles. Slant right side. Grab is made. Spinning his Crump inside the 15 to play. Clock running. Full house backfield. And out of the shotgun is Nick Foles. Turns around. Now he's trying to communicate with his center, Kyle Quinn, who's turning around trying to communicate as well. Play clock is at 17 as he takes the snap, fakes the handoff, now throws a slant, end zone, touchdown for Arizona. Just a quick slant off the left side, and boy did that happen quickly. David Douglas there with the score, and now it's 34-23 with 10:33 to play. And Zim harkened back to that Washington State game where the Buffs surrendered a 2-touchdown advantage late. Now here they've got more than a, or had more than a 2-touchdown advantage. Out for the extra point is Banana. Down to hold is Duganczyk, the punter. To tack on one more. 34-23 right now. Here's a snap put down. Swings the right leg. Kick is true, but there is a flag on the play.
It's an 88-yard drive.
And they didn't take a whole lot of time off the clock, by the way.
Offside on the defense, number 50. Entered the neutral zone, caused the offense a false start. So half the distance to the goal. We'll still try the extra point from the 1.5-yard line.
It only took 1 minute and 41 seconds to do it, Mark.
Well, now they're going to bring the offense back out there and try and do a 2-point conversion because of that penalty on the Buffaloes.
7 plays to go that 88 yards.
Well, this is interesting. They'll go for 2 here. That would make it 34-25 if they're good on this. Silver Motor Center report. I'm wondering why exactly you do this, Andy Lindell.
Well, I don't have an answer for you other than you go for the 9, get it down to 9. That's 3 field goals. Mark, I'll put it back up to you and we'll talk after this.
All right, I'm not sure I understand this 2-point conversion. Try why. You're down more than 2 touchdowns and 2 2-point conversions. But here they go. Shotgun snap to Foles, throws the fade deep in the back corner of the end zone, intended for Douglas, and it's incomplete. Greg Henderson was there in the coverage, pass just a bit off the mark. So what Tim Kish did was take a point off the board right there. You're down by 17. So 2 touchdowns and 2 extra 2-point conversions is only 16 points. I'm not sure why you would do that, but they take a point off the board. It remains 34-20. Off from left to right, puts the foot to it, high and end of her end. Tony Clemens just back into the end zone, about 3 yards deep. Will make the catch along the far hash. And to put the knee down. A Silver Motor Salary Report. Here's Andy Lindell.
Well, guys, one of our guests on Broncos Primetime this week was Christopher Harris. You may remember him because he played at Kansas last year and was on the team that made the comeback against CU. I asked him, what went your way that day? What got you guys believing? Because we all thought you were out of it. He said, hey, we just got a couple plays to go our way. The momentum started and the rest is history. And so, Mark, when you talk about not liking this, it feels a little similar, I hate to say.
Well, it does, and there's some strategic decisions that don't feel quite the same. Let's put it that way. But yeah, it certainly feels like what we saw against Washington State, no doubt about that. First down at 10. Hansen boots out to the right, sets to throw. He's got time. Check down, throw at the 23-yard line. Ryan D had the grab, running across the 30. First down to the 31-yard line. That's a gain of 11 yards. A nice little check down that time. Petinato is there on the tackle, but Ryan Dehan with a catch, gain of 11. First down, Colorado. That's what we're talking about.
Well, that wasn't his first choice. He was looking down the sideline, but Dehan did a good job of getting open over the middle. I worried a little bit about that because that was sort of the area he was in when Bondurant just jumped it and took off to the end zone with it. But that time, Buffs have a successful play. 11 yards, yes, that moves the clock.
Tyler Hansen stops Keenan Canty from going wide right. The boundary side says, no, young man, you got to go slot left. First down at 10 for the 31. Now Canty in motion into the backfield. Hansen under center, turns right, hands off. Roddy Stewart, he's clutching the ball, stumbles through, comes out the other side, and just lost his balance and went down at the 36-yard line, almost the 37. Oh, little Rodney. If he could have kept his feet, there was nobody left on the backside. 6-yard gain. Jermaine Bondurant is there in the tackle, and Rodney could have been running for a long time.
Well,
second down and 5.
Rodney's had 1,500-yard games, and he's in striking distance today of getting there.
Clock's running, 9:25 to play in the fourth. Buffalo's on top, 34-23. Second down and a short 5 for the 36-yard line. 2 tight ends to the right. That's the boundary side of the formation. Hansen under center, backs down the offset high. Tyler drops, looking left the whole time, finally dumps it off. Tyler McCulloch, the freshman, the grab with the 41-yard line, turns upfield to the 45, and that's a first down at the 46-yard line. Tackled by Paul Vassallo for the Wildcats. Gain of 9. Man, I like Tyler McCulloch. He is a fun-looking young receiver for the Colorado Buffaloes, and on top of him, he's got that big 6'5" body.
Yeah, a true freshman who really was impressive in training camp. That's his first catch in about 3 games, I think.
4. Go ahead, Jim.
Maybe he's had 1 or 2, but that's his 10th catch of the year.
406 yards of offense now for the Buffaloes on 61 snaps. First down at 10 now for the Colorado 46-yard line, moving right to left. Receivers either side, 2 tight ends to the right. The Wildcats showing blitz. Hansen under center, sprints out right, hands off. Speedy right side's got a hole. 45-yard line, steps out of a tackle. 35, 30 up the sideline at the 25. He's grabbed around the ankles and he's run out of bounds at the 23-yard line. Mark Watley on the tackle, and that's a scamper of 28 yards for the second leading rusher in Colorado history.
That's going to put him right at 100 now. Embry's upset about something.
And boy, John is out there barking in the ear of the referee. But the Buffaloes with a big game there. This is just what the doctor ordered right here. And now we got a flag in the play.
I think that's going to be on Coach.
Well, we've got 8:15 to play in the fourth. 34-23. Buffaloes on top by 11.
Dead ball. unsportsmanlike foul on the defense, number 40. Penalties enforced half the distance to the goal. First down.
Maybe that's what Embry was yelling about.
A stupid penalty right there by Derek Earls. My goodness.
I wonder what he did.
Let's quickly pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Colorado Football Network. Always had a silly penalty, unsportsmanlike conduct on Derek Earls of 15 yards, so the 28-yard gain, then the 15-yard penalty on top of it. The Buffaloes have it first down at 10. Now for the Cats' 12-yard line. Two tight ends on the right-hand side, ball right hash mark. On first down, Hansen under center. They can get a first down at about the 1.5-yard mark. Hansen drops the throw, looking left, throws the fade. Keenan Canty wide open over the shoulder, and he dropped it. Oh my goodness. Tyler Hansen dropped that one in there. He needed to put it over the inside shoulder of Canty, who had gotten away from Mark Watley, and the ball, maybe the wind had something to do with it, but it sailed over the outside shoulder, and Keenan nearly screwed himself into the turf here at Folsom Field trying to come up with it, and he just couldn't haul it in. That was 6 points right there, gift wrapped for Keenan Canty.
I tell you what, Keenan comes back to the huddle. He won't look at Hansen.
That was a tough one, though, man. He was looking over that right shoulder, and the ball sailed over the left. Second down at 10 for the 12. My goodness. Two tight ends to the left, boundary to the right. Hansen under center. Canty the motion man. Speedy the lone setback. Tyler sprints out left. Hands off to Speedy. Looking for holes. Got the hole. Got the 5. Makes a move. End zone. Touchdown. Touchdown Colorado. Speedy hit the second level, and they're smoking garments of Mark Watley at the 3-yard line. And Speedy took it right to the house with 7:42 to play. And the Buffs are on top 40-23. That is the drive, Larry Zimmer, we've been looking for.
Boy, it came at a great time. That's his second touchdown of the game. Colorado needed that, and now they've got that cushion again.
Boy, was that a nice little cutback by Roddy Stewart. Will Oliver out for the extra point. Gorman a hole. Down the right knee, right hand extended. Swing of the right leg by Oliver. It's up and it's good. And we have got ourselves a 41-23 ball game here at Folsom Field with the Buffaloes on top. 7:42 to play.
That was an 80-yard drive in 6 plays, Mark. My only criticism, it didn't take long enough.
Well, I tell you what, I'm not complaining about that. Hey, by the way,
obviously being facetious.
You know what we have not mentioned here today, and that is the fact that Will Oliver's become the all-time freshman scoring leader in Colorado history. He just kicked another extra point. He's 5 for 5 now, so he's got 56 points. Mason Crosby had set the record at 52 back in 2003, so Will has become the freshman scoring leader in Colorado history. Still to Harmoder Satellite Report, here's Andy Lindahl.
I wanted to add on what you were saying with Tyler McCullough. As far as a guy that you're excited to watch, not only does he run good routes and he's a big receiver, guys, he is a beast in the run game. He's been blocking like some of the Broncos receivers used to block when they really had their run game going. So that is a young man definitely to be excited about as we go forward, Mark.
Well, John Embry likes him a great deal. There were some folks throughout the state. Here's the kickoff, and Patogi will take at the 8-yard line across the 10, straight up field 15, 20-yard line, cuts to his left, breaks the tackle 30, 35-yard line 40, 45-yard line, runs into Terrell Smith over the top of him, the big fullback out to the 50-yard line, and so a nice run back that time of about 42 yards. And that's where the Arizona Wildcats will have it first down at 10 for the 50-yard line. Back to Tyler McCullough for a second, though. I think there were some in and around the state that basically said that John Embry, what, you couldn't find that guy here in the state of Colorado? And John said, no, I couldn't. Number one, he's got a big body at 6'5", but what Andy's talking about, Zim, is what John Embry loved about him. He said there's just a passion for the way he plays the game, the way he blocks, what he does after he catches the football. He said I need more of those kind of guys with that kind of passionate fire inside. First down at 10, Foles to throw, throws the fade down the right side, and it's incomplete. Pass intended down the right side. I think he was going for Geno Crump, but Crump got bumped out of bounds as he got checked coming off the line of scrimmage by Terrell Smith.
And Foles also overthrew it. By the way, Stewart has his second 100-yard game of the year, 105 yards.
Rodney has done some damn. Boy, the seniors have played well today. Think about Travis Sandersfeld, Tyler Hansen, Speedy Stewart. Some of those fellows playing their final game here at Folsom Field will come out to play. 41-23 Buffaloes. 7:29 to play in the ball game. Foles to throw. He checks down to Carey at the 50-yard line, gets by John Major, hit from behind at the 43-yard line. Yeah, that's where his forward momentum is stopped. And another one of those seniors out there, Curtis Cunningham, the senior from Columbine High School in Littleton. On the tackle, that's a 7-yard pickup to make it 3rd down and 3. And Arizona on 3rd downs, 3 of 10 this afternoon.
And this is a big 3rd down for the Buffs. They stop them here. They force them into 4th down.
So 3rd down and 3. Shotgun snap taken by Foles, swinging out left side. Intended for carryover, throws him. David Goldberg got right in front of the intended receiver. That ball sailed on Foles. Incomplete. That brings up 4th down. Nice read that time by another one of the seniors, David Goldberg out of Aspen.
And a good rush by Patrick Mankey. A couple of Colorado guys right
Another
there.
senior too. Inside 7 minutes to play. 4 down territory at this stage of the game with 7 minutes to play. Arizona 0 of 2 on 4th down attempts. Foles checking off and barking out instruction at the line of scrimmage. Play clock is at 10 as he sets out of the shotgun at 4th and 3 for the 43. Takes a snap. Here comes pressure. Mankey hits him. Throws it out. It's completed to Crump on the right side at the 40. And he rumbles inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. That is a big-time throw that time with the quarterback, Nick Foles. He stood in there with all kinds of pressure. Mankey in his face and still completed the pass at 9 yards on the right side.
Yeah, that was a big-time play. No question about it.
Oh, man. That's what those NFL guys here like to see right there. Courage. 1st and 10. He whips this one downfield and coming out of his break and could not hold on to the football that time is David Roberts. Little curl, inside curl off the left side, and Foles put some mustard on that one. There was flames coming off that ball, and as soon as Roberts came out of his break, he couldn't hold on to it. Nicely thrown ball.
Siltar Motors Big 12 scoreboard update. Only other Big 12 game or Pac-12 game going. USC leads Washington 23-3 at the half.
2nd down and 10 now for the Buffaloes. 34-yard line. Buffs on top. 41-23. Foles sets to throw. He's got all kinds of time in the pocket. Now he's flushed to his right. Running to the near sideline. Here comes pressure from Tyler Alice. There may be a flag. Here it comes. Helmet to helmet contact by Alice. Pass incomplete. You saw it coming. Tyler Alice got right in the grill of Nick Foles and just headbutted him helmet to helmet.
Personal foul, roughing the passer on the defense, and legal contact with the helmet. Penalties enforced, 15 yards, automatic 1st down.
Oh, Tyler.
I didn't get a number on that.
Tyler. That's a silly senior penalty right there. That's a silly senior penalty right there. You cannot do that. 6 penalties for 70 yards. My goodness, Larry. Holy cow, they had him.
Well, I can't disagree with anything you said. I totally agree. You just don't do that, particularly at this point in the game. And that just gives them a free 15 down to the 19-yard line.
6:31 to play in the 4th. Buffaloes on top, 41-23. 1st down and 10 for the Cats at the Buffs 19. Shotgun snap to Foles. He pumps once, steps to his left, checks it down, now throws it out left side, goes through the hands of David Douglas. Greg Henderson was right there on coverage, but that would have been completed. He wouldn't have picked up, I wouldn't think, assuming there was going to be a good form tackle out there by Henderson, picked up much, but still, it's incomplete.
And pre-check was all over Foles, and I don't think he had a clear view of his receiver out there because the pre-check was right in his face. 2nd
down and 10 for the 19 once again. Buffaloes with a good lead, 41-23, but right now Cats threatening. 6:25 to play. Foles sets to throw, looks left, now running to his near side. Alice is right there, throw it down to sideline, leaping, diving grab on the near sideline inside the 15 at the 13-yard line was Geno Crump, gain of 6 yards.
You know, the Buffs have really done a good job of getting him to move, though. He's doing pretty well moving, but they have a 3rd down, another 3rd down and 4. So Colorado's defense challenged again.
Arizona 3 of 11 on 3rd downs. 3rd and 4 for the Buffs 13. Throw it right side. Crump the grab inside the 5 of the out pattern. Out of bounds at the 4. Jason Espinoza was there for the Buffaloes, and that's a 1st down and goal-to-go situation now for Arizona, gain of 9 yards. I like this Nick Foles. He's kind of an interesting quarterback to me.
I agree.
He's got some toughness to him. He's got some coolness under pressure in the pocket. And I like his arm. He's thrown a couple of ropes out there today. 1st down and goal to go for the 5-yard line. Full house backfield. As Foles stands out of the shotgun to the right hash mark, takes a snap, throws the fade left side. Douglas is out there over the outside shoulder, incomplete. Henderson there in the coverage. Douglas, as he turned over the left shoulder, the ball was right on top of him. He didn't have time to react to it. Not a poorly thrown ball. In fact, it was a wonderfully thrown ball. 2nd down and goal to go from the 5. Clock stops, 5:32 to play in the 4th. 41-23 Buffaloes. Buffs looking for their first win here at home all season long in their final attempt at Folsom Field. They've never gone winless at Folsom Field. Second down, goal to go for the 5. Foles under pressure, hit and sacked back at the 15-yard line. And Josh Hardigan came off the defensive right side, and the senior from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, with sack number 6 in the campaign. And they lose 10 yards all the way back to the 15-yard line.
And I tell you, that Mercury Marquee down in Fort Lauderdale, it's going zoom, zoom right now.
Actually, for some odd reason, they apparently in the grasp is where they called him down at the 13-yard line. Third down, a goal to go for the 13. Arizona 4 of 12 on third down. Shotgun snap to Foles. Swing it. Right side. Catch is made by Crump at the 10. Tries to make a move. He's corralled in by Espinoza at the 9-yard line. That'll make it fourth down after a pickup of about 5 yards. Fourth down, a goal to go for the 8.
Well, the nice thing about it is keeping that clock moving, and that's what the Buffs really need to do. Down to 4:38. Now Arizona does have 3 timeouts.
So here we go. Fourth down, a goal to go for the 8-yard line. 4.5 minutes to play. 41-23 Buffaloes. Foles and the Cats moving left to right. 3-man front for the Buffs. Foles on the right hash mark. Out of the shotgun. Takes the snap. Drops to throw. Looks in the end zone. Throws in the end zone. It is incomplete. Douglas was there. Terrell Smith was there. And a pass interference penalty flag is thrown on Terrell Smith. On the quick slant off the left side. There was contact right around the goal line. Now the officials will get together and talk this over. Still to Harmoto Salary Report. Here's Andy Lindell.
Guys, I disagree with this call. I hope they change the call. Don't reward that effort. That route was broken off too shallow for how high the pass was thrown.
I agree.
And I just think Foles was throwing that ball to get the call more than to have it be complete. I really hope they overrule this.
Here we go.
Pass interference on the defense, number 41. Penalties enforced, 2-yard line, first down and goal.
No, I just saw a replay of it. I tend to agree with you, but that one goes in favor of Arizona. Penalty number 7 against the Buffaloes.
Now, looking at the replay, I just don't, you could call it, I guess, but it certainly didn't alter the outcome of the play.
41-23 Buffaloes with the advantage by 18. We got 4:17 to play in quarter number 4. Colorado football brought to us by Old Chicago. Make Old Chicago your football headquarters for every ball game. There are 27 Colorado locations. Find yours at oldchicago.com. Old Chicago, eat, drink, be yourself. So now it's first down and goal to go from the 2-yard line. Full house backfield. Foles out of the shotgun. Got a receiver either side. The senior quarterback stands at the 6, takes a snap, turns, hands off, carry, big hole, end zone touchdown. Boy, that was easy. That was easy. And that play turns out being big. That pass interference penalty on Terrell Smith.
Yeah, that was a fourth down.
Yeah, it was. 4:14 to play. A 2-yard carry by Carey for the touchdown. And the crowd has gotten quiet here at Folsom Field now. 41-29.
They're going for 2 again.
Yep, they're going to give it a try. They're down by right now 12 points. Foles to throw, throws a slant, slapped away by Greg Smith on a slant off the left side, intended for David Douglas. Boy, was that a big play by Greg Henderson, and he has made some monster plays here this afternoon for the Buffaloes.
It is a big play because it's a 3-score ball game again.
Wow.
That's why if they get the 2, then it's a 10-point game.
Still to our Motor Salary Report. Here's Andy Lindell.
Guys, give a ton of credit to Greg Henderson. First off, the inside position was gained by the Arizona receiver, but he did a great job of not only anticipating when to dive and knock that away, but not getting rubbed off by one of the linebackers. Great job by Henderson on the play.
He did, man. He just reached out with the right hand and swatted that ball away just before it hit the receiver's hands. And we've got a 41-29 game. The Buffaloes on top by 12. 11 plays, 50 yards, 3:20 the time of possession. 2-yard carry by the running back, Kadeem Carey. No 2-point conversion. 41-29 Buffaloes. Colorado football brought to you by State Farm Insurance. There's nothing more important than being there for the Buffs and for their fans.
We gave you that Pac-12 score, 23-3 at the half, USC over Washington. You'll be happy to know CSU Pueblo Thunderwolves are on their way, 28-7 over Western New Mexico at the start of the third.
I'll tell you what, they gave up a touchdown there. Here's an onside kick, and it's knocked around. It's loose on the carpet out there. There's a big pile up at the 39-yard line. It looked like Arizona may have gotten there. It was just a little squibber, and not fair to really call it an onside kick, but just a squibber.
Nope, Colorado got it.
No. Arizona's got it.
Well, what? One referee was going one way.
I think the field judge got his directions wrong there, so Arizona recovers this.
Well, you knew that was coming. I don't know why Colorado let that ball lay there.
Well, they went. There was a couple of the up men up there that went down, and the ball squirted away from them. Was loose on the grass out there. They couldn't scamper to it off the bottom of the pile.
The kick went 10 yards, then came back. Legal recovered by the kicking team. First down.
Coming up with it for the Wildcats was Tiami Tatugi.
Well, it gets more interesting all the time.
Yep, first down and 10 now for the 40-yard line. 4:12 to play. In the ball game, Buffs on top, 41-29. Foles to throw. Throws it down the right side. Picked off by Espinoza at the 42-yard line. Intended for Crump down the right side. And Jason Espinoza for the Buffaloes, the senior out of Alamosa, saw it coming, reached up and plucked it out of the sky on senior day here at Folsom Field.
That's 2-2. He had an interception last week against Southern Cal.
And they've got a graphic up on the big screen. It says Espinoza Island. That's a reference to Darrelle Revis. They call it Revis Island in the NFL. The Mean Moose of Alamosa. Jason Espinoza with a big play on senior day. The converted wide receiver makes a monster interception. The Buffs take over possession. First down at 10 for their own 47-yard line.
I tell you, the way along with Stewart's touchdown run, that one comes up as a big play, turning point in the game.
First down at 10 for the 47-yard line. Two tight ends to the right. That's the open side of the formation. Devon Thornton, the motion man. Hanson turns, hands off. Roddy Stewart, very patient, but he gets hit right at the line of scrimmage. Might have lost a half a yard or so on that play. Making the stop for the Wildcats. Vassallo, the linebacker. Espinoza Island. Who knew?
Interception, 2 games and 2 interceptions. By the way, it didn't happen for UNC. Portland State 23-17 final. Wyoming beats Air Force 25-17 down in the spring.
That's a surprise to me right there. Okay, hold on a second. There's a scissor laying over here by Chip Marks. I need to take that away from all the sharp objects. Got to get away from Chip right now. After the big win last week over Army, coming back and now losing to the Cowboys.
Cowboys having a good year.
They are. Second down at 10 for the 47. Hanson turns left, hands off Roddy Stewart. He's got a bit of a hole. Turns a corner. He's got room to run. Running 40, 35 at the sideline. 30-yard line. Cuts back, trying to stay in bounds as he falls inside Derek Earls and smartly goes down instead of going out of bounds. They'll stop the clock for the first down, but they'll start it quickly when they get things spotted here with 3:10 to play. 26 yards in that carry by Rodney Stewart.
Let me tell you something. Whoever retaped him at halftime, they did a heck of a job.
I don't know what kind of tape they're using, but I hope they got a bunch of it.
Rodney's over 100.
Rodney Stewart. What do you think about when he got here? 474 yards for the Buffaloes, by the way, this afternoon.
Baylor comes back and beats Kansas in overtime, 31-30. Boise State's moved ahead of TCU 21-20 in the third period.
First down and 10 here in the fourth from the 26-yard line. Hanson turns, hands off Roddy Stewart. He makes a nice juke move, runs in to the linebacker Vassallo. Gains a couple of yards on that play. We've got 2:40 to play. 41-29. Colorado with the lead.
Rodney's up to 142 yards in this game.
Rodney lost a helmet out there too. Boy, Vassallo was very slow to get up. He is in some discomfort as he gets up. Comes to the near sideline. Oh man, yeah, he's feeling it. He is feeling it. Takes the helmet off. He's not happy about it either.
Timeout. Arizona timeout number 1. 30-second timeout.
Took him a while to take it.
Well, I almost wonder if they weren't thinking they might have to take an injury timeout for Vassallo, but he got off the field, so the Wildcats do take a timeout. Colorado football brought to us by the CU Bookstore, your home for all the latest Colorado Buffs gear. Visit the CU Bookstore locations at Folsom Field, at the UMC, or online at cubookstore.com.
They don't want to lose Vassallo. This guy's their leading tackler, 60 tackles coming into the game, 36 solo, 5 tackles for a loss. Good player. He's a junior college guy. A couple of years ago, he transferred from Sierra Community College.
2:40 to play here in the fourth. Buffs have lost 7 in a row, gang. I believe it was Nuke Lelouch, that great thinker, who once said, winning, you know, it's a whole lot better than losing. It's a Bull Durham reference, I see. Second down and 9. From the 25-yard line inside Wildcat territory. H-back to the right. Hansen turns, hands off Roddy Stewart. He stutter steps now, darts his way forward, picks up some nice positive yardage inside the 20, all the way down to the 18-yard line, about a yard shy of the first down marker. That's an 8-yard pickup. Derek Earls is there on the tackle for the Wildcats. You know, what's kind of fun about this today, Zim, is when you look at all the big plays that have been made, certainly guys like Greg Henderson comes to mind, but boy.
Timeout. Arizona timeout number 2, 30-second timeout.
You look at what Tyler Hansen has done today. You look at what Rodney Stewart has done today. Tony Clemens has done today offensively for the Buffaloes. And you look over the defensive side, we have called the name Josh Hartigan quite a bit. Travis Sanders felt early in his ball game. Jason Espinoza with the interception. All those guys we're talking about are all seniors. And so many times it's emotional. And sometimes we forget when we're kind of old cats like you and me that, these guys they're still kids, 18, 19. Those are 6 of 12 on third down attempts. Motion man Tony Clemens off the left side. Hansen on an unbalanced line under center. Takes the hands off to Roddy Stewart. Picks up the first down off the right side. Inside the 15 at the 14-yard line. That's a first down for Colorado. I tell you a great story last night. And you'll remember this, Jim. The last time the Buffaloes played Arizona was 1986.
Oh, yeah.
And John Embry, that's the only time, by the way, the Buffs have ever lost to Arizona.
Had a 68-yard.
He had a 68-yard reception. And so I'm talking to John yesterday, and I said, hey, this is the game you had your longest reception in. And he looks at me kind of funny. I said, what? And he said, well, it's not necessarily a happy ending. And I said, oh, really? He goes, yeah, the pass a little bit behind me, and I kind of turned and caught it. And I got tackled at the 3-yard line. He says a few days later, I got back to his apartment. His roommates had got a turtle shell. They put, John was number 80, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, they put number 80 on it because they said he was so slow and he couldn't get to the end zone because the guy chased him down from behind. Rodney Stewart down to the 10-yard line, gained of 4 yards. He said, here I made that 68-yard reception, and he said I never lived down the fact I never made it to the end zone on that play. I said, well, with friends like that or teammates like that, who needs enemies?
Well, he was part of the win the year before, 1985.
Right. Time out the field, by the way.
Which was to me, a signature win for Colorado. They had been 1-10 in '84, and that was the game early in the season where they went down to Tucson and they beat a ranked Arizona team, marked 14-13. And they had to put up a really big defensive stand late in the game to pull that out. And that was a huge win for that program at that time.
Well, those were kind of when you go back to the Bill McCartney era, those were the formative years as they were trying to bring the talent in. Guys like John Embry trying to get that thing back on track. And of course, that was 85. Zim's talking about 86 the next year. The last time they played Arizona.
Well, that's what, and Arizona was the 4th team to beat them. They started 0-4, and they had lost 3 games by 8 points.
And then, of course, 89, they played for the national championship. Second down and 5 for the 9-yard line, deep inside Cat territory. Hand off to Roddy left side. He's got a hole, makes a nice move, powers his way, end zone, touchdown, and the little engine that could went bowling in from the 3 with defenders hanging all over him with a $1:45 to play, and that makes it 47-29 in favor of Colorado. And how about that drive by the Buffaloes?
Well, right now, it's a 53-yard drive. Rodney Stewart, 3 touchdowns. He's thrown for a touchdown, and he is well up over 167 yards.
Now we got to stop it.
Timeout. Colorado, 3rd and final timeout, 30-second timeout.
By the way, the Buffaloes right now exactly 500 yards of offense. 7 plays, 53 yards. Now that one, 47-29.
That's the 5th time that Arizona's given up 500 yards. Colorado knows how it feels.
Sure. 1:45 to play in the 4th. Well, you feel good for this group of kids out there, the way this season had been going, and boy, as tough as things have been, you didn't want to see a situation in which they didn't win a game at home this year. Silverhar Motor Saddle Report. Here's Andy Lindell.
Hey guys, I don't know if he's played much this game, but they took a timeout and put Barons in so the senior could get a play in this game, Mark.
That's fantastic.
He hasn't played at all.
Well, there's a kick by Will Oliver. Kick is up. It is on its way, and it is good. Yeah, that makes it 40 with 1:45 to play. 48-29. Man, oh man.
That was a
9-yard run, by the way, by Roddy Stewart.
Yeah, 53 yards in 7 plays. 2 minutes 18 seconds off the clock.
So Blake Barons gets a chance to be on the field on senior day at Folsom Field. Let's quickly pause 10 seconds now for station identification. This is the Colorado Football Network. And we should mention not only Blake Barons, but Sean Daniels also got to go on the field as well, one of the seniors for the Buffaloes, to get out there.
Sean with that unfortunate injury in training camp.
Yep.
Arizona State coming up next week for the Wildcats, and that'll wrap up their Pac-12 season. They finish the season against Louisiana Lafayette. And of course, Colorado's got to go to UCLA and Utah. Colorado with a chance to overtake Arizona and get out of the cellar in the Southern Division.
48-29 is our score. The Buffaloes well in control now. 1:45 to play. Caster to kick off. Sends this one deep into the end zone over the head of Kadeem Carey. Out of the back of the end zone, just outside the numbers for the touchback. 7 plays, 53 yards, 218 on that drive. Rodney Stewart from 9 yards out. And Rodney has had an afternoon here at Folsom Field. Run for a couple of touchdowns. He threw that little toss back, little pitch to Rodney, sweeping right. He put the brakes on, turned, and Tyler Hansen went rolling out to the left. It was wide open. Made the catch of the 6 and waltzed on in for the touchdown. That gives Nick Foles that Arizona offense once again. 1:45 to play. Buffaloes will snap their 7-game losing streak. Nick Foles, shotgun snap from the 20. Pressured now, hit as he throws, and a pass is caught by Kadeem Carey. The check down at the 25. Still on his feet as he breaks 1 tackle and about 3 tackles. Finally, Patrick Mankey is there to take him down. Nick Foles took a pretty good shot that time. I think it was Conrad Obie, got right in his face. Laid him out, but he did complete the pass. That kid's tough, man. He is a tough son of a gun. 90 seconds, make it 91 seconds remaining.
Conrad Obie, another senior.
Yep.
Who's played well today and played well all year.
Well, look at Rodney Stewart. 24 carries, 181 yards. Zim.
That is just great for him finishing up his career.
Yep. Tony Clemens, 5 receptions for 115 yards and a touchdown. Rodney's got the 2 touchdowns, or make it 3 touchdowns rushing. I beg your pardon.
Oh yeah, 3 touchdowns and threw for 1.
Foles to throw. Here comes a flag and a hold. Throw it over the middle. The catch is made downfield. David Roberts at the 44-yard line. His forward progress is stopped there by the Buffaloes. Arthur Jaffe, another senior for the Buffaloes. John Major also into the tackle for Colorado, but the flags.
Holding on the offense, number 79. 10-yard penalty. Still second down.
Mark, 181 yards is his second best game of his career. He had 195 last year against Kansas State.
I do remember that. Yeah, and I was Josh Hardigan, by the way, got dinged up on that play, so he slowly walked. There's another one of the seniors who's played well this afternoon.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
We had Josh on Beyond the Huddle, and he talked about that Mercury Marquis that he rebuilt. He loves old cars, and you know what he plans to do? He wants to play in the NFL, but when he finishes, he wants to have an animal refuge and take care of rescued animals.
Good for him. Who can be against taking care of rescued animals?
I know.
Nick Foles fade down the right side. Catch is made by Crump over the top of Espinoza across the 35 and out of bounds at the 39-yard line. First down for the Wildcats. 58 seconds remaining. Gain of 20 yards.
Says his uncle's already bought the property.
Even better for him. First down at 10 for the 40. Shotgun snap to Foles once again. He drops the throw. He's got all kinds of time. Check down right side. Grab is made at the 45-yard line. Terrence Miller on the reception. Jason Espinoza and Patrick Mankey are collaborating on the tackle there. That's a gain of 6 yards. 45 seconds. And once again, they throw up the Espinoza Island graphic up. I love that. Foles to throw. Throws a slant left side in and out of the hands of David Roberts. Incomplete. John Major. Travis Sanders fell to there. 35 seconds remaining.
Now, Jason's another kid. He's just a great young man.
Oh, love him. He's got picks in consecutive weeks. Big one here today. Last week picked off Matt Barkley in that USC game. 3rd down and 5 now for Arizona. 4-13 on 3rd down of the Wildcats. Pulls to throw. Right side. Grab is made across the 50. Goes Miller. Picks up the first down to the 48-yard line. Exactly 30 seconds remaining. That's a gain of 7 yards and a first down. Well, you got a lot to see. Espinosa's out there. You got Menke right now. Tyler Alice, David Goldberg. I think Hardigan still is out there. Cunningham, Obi. A lot of seniors out there right now. There's a throw off the left side. Intercepted by Travis Sandersfeld.
How about that?
The senior with 20 seconds remaining. Travis Sandersfeld out of Lyman, Colorado, out there in the Eastern Plains. He jumped around on David Roberts and picked it off with a slant to the left side. That's the way to put an exclamation point on this game here at Folsom Field.
And you remember that Sandersfeld also had the forced fumble at Arizona State that resulted in Josh Moten's touchdown.
Oh, that's fantastic. I tell you what, Lyman's given the Buffaloes a couple of pretty good defensive backs, because before Travis Sandersfeld was Tommy Hubbard.
Tom Hubbard, most valuable player in the Houston Bowl.
That's right. I forgot about that. So you've had a couple of real good ones coming out of Little Lyman, Colorado. The Buffs are out there with 20 seconds left. Here's something we haven't said in a long time. Victory formation for the Buffaloes. 20 seconds remaining. And there's a snap. The knee is down. And on Senior Day, the final home game of 2011, the Buffaloes come out victorious. A number of seniors with enormous performances, including 181 rushing yards by Rodney Stewart, along with 3 touchdowns to the ground and 1 he passed through the air to Tyler Hansen. And the Buffaloes snap their 7-game losing streak, 48-29, as they knock off the Arizona Wildcats here in Boulder. Well, in a tough season, sometimes that script does come out the right way, doesn't it?
It does, and I just couldn't be happier for this group of guys. They talking to a couple.